If you've been to Sammy's restaurant and bar at Stone's Gambling Hall, then you know they serve amazing food. A modern take on classic tavern fare, along with a super selection of microbeers and craft cocktails. But did you know that Sammy's also has a great happy hour? Every weekday from 4 to 6, you can enjoy half-price appetizers, favorites like truffle fries, duck tacos, Kobe beef sliders, and more. Plus, get $2 off all beers, all cocktails, and all wine by the glass. And with 40 big screen TVs, Sammy's is the perfect place for happy hour sports action. Join us for the happiest hour of the day at Sammy's Restaurant and Bar at Stone's Gambling Hall in Sacramento, California, conveniently located off I-80 and Antelope. Hello everybody, welcome to the live stream. Tonight we've got a crazy 10-25 game and a very special guest.
Oh wow.
A very special guest. Big time gamer.
Wow. Jeff Robinson.
Yeah.
That's me. Robinson, yeah. That's him, that's Jeff.
I don't know if you noticed something.
We coordinated. It was meant to be.
We all text each other. We're like, oh my God, what are you wearing tonight? Oh my God, let's do Plaid Night. And here we are.
We just got done watching a Northern Exposure marathon.
So we're all like crying a little inside and wearing plaid, and the Jake is joining me. What's your Twitter handle?
I'm EG in Control.
EG in Control. Sounds,
Evil Geniuses, that's our team. Evil Geniuses.
Sounds kind of dirty, I like it.
Do you like that?
Yeah.
Okay, we're off to a good start.
I'm angry_Polak, and you don't know your Twitter name, do you?
It's the Jake. I'm the Jake 427. I'm the Jake 427. He
has like 3 followers. No one cares.
No one cares. I'm awesome. I'm the best. I'm the best.
Let's get down to the table. We have a crazy game. There are some huge chips being thrown around. There's a few people with like almost $8,000 in front of them. A couple regulars, but a lot of new players at the table tonight.
Regular Rich. We didn't know Rich.
Oh, Rich is back.
He's on our first 10-25 game. He's been in a couple of 5-10.
He's in seat 1.
He's in seat 1.
He's got about 5K, give or take a little. Now these chip stacks were done. Yeah, they've been fluctuating in the last half an hour. John in seat 2, he's got almost 8K. Nice. Sean Drake, World Series of Poker bracelet winner, 3rd place, Colossal,
beard grower,
bear wrestler.
In that order, I think. Yes.
He's got about 2,400. Matt in seat 4.
Matt Holtzclaw.
Matt, he was in the booth.
Super beast.
He is a super beast, and he has no fear, and he has 4,500 in front of him. Ken in seat 5. I haven't seen Ken before.
Okay. I played a lot of 2-5, 5-10 with Ken. Good guy, solid player.
He's got about 2,500 in front of him. Great shirt, Ken. Thanks for matching with us.
Can we all agree on that? I think it is a fantastic shirt.
You're going to fit right in tonight. This is perfect. Peter, of course, is in his usual seat 6 with 3,200. Scotty is in seat 7 with 4,300. Seat 8 has an Eric. We always have an Eric in seat 8 with about 6,000.
He looks French.
He does look very French. And Handsome George is in seat 9. Yeah, 2,400. Come on, Handsome George.
So let me ask you, before we get too far, I know that the minimum buy-in is 2,000, but we're seeing a lot of people that definitely bought in for 5, 6, or more. What's the strategy with that? Because it's obviously you have more to win, but you also have more to lose in that situation. Is that going into a game like this? Is that what you would do?
Talk about losing. Jake really knows that strategy. Go ahead.
Yeah.
So when you lose all of your money.
Just punt it. You reach in, go into the well, get more. So yeah, you have to get a balance. I mean, and keep in mind not just how many chips you have in front of you, but how many chips that your opponent has in front of you. And it's not just I have 9K, 10K. You know, if your opponent only has 2,400, the effective stacks are just that. So it's the same as if you're playing with 2,400. And that's going to change hand to hand and street by street as players come in and out of the game.
Yeah, really. If you've got 5K in front of you and your opponent's only got 800. You're really
playing an $800 stack.
You're playing an $800 stack. So, just to let our viewers know, the green chips are $25 chips. The red chips are $5 chips, and the white ones are beautiful $100 chips. Oh baby,
Do you like the $100?
Oh.
Now,
he actually called with just ace high there. I mean, we were kind of introducing the show, but calling with ace high, is that, I mean, I don't want to jump in and just straight up call him a fish.
Here's the thing about that sends a message to a lot of the other players where I'm not going to get bluffed, you're not going to pick me off, I'm going to call you down. If you're going to make a bet, you better have something because you're not going to bluff me tonight.
So $175 of information, do you think is that what that was? Or?
Yeah, $175 of information.
All right.
And you know,
you're a complimentary guy. I like that, Jake. I would have said it's a bad call.
And sometimes, you know, you're right. And here we go. Matt.
Craft players tend to be right.
Poker players tend
to be wrong.
right.
Yeah, well, you know.
Yeah.
Now this is one of the true crimes of ace-ace. Like, we get to see the tragedy. 2-7, 5-7. Well, okay, ace king.
Rich
Never mind.
got ace king. And
That's the problem with it, though. You need somebody else with hands, but not too good of a hand, and they can't go to flop. But
I always say that when you've got aces, it's not good luck until you get off with aces.
Yeah.
It's only half the battle.
Yeah, if you're just winning the blinds, it's not good luck to get aces. You want someone to be raising in front of you.
Ace
On the
king
same
suit.
side.
Oh yeah.
It's like I
And
tell myself.
Richard's gonna give him action. Richard's got ace king. Richard is.
Is it Richard or Dick?
Same.
You're the
Rich.
expert. I'd
We
ask.
call him Rich.
Rich.
Okay.
In the bedroom, I'm sure it's Dick.
Okay. You're probably right.
Rich is going to start us off. He's going to open up here, raise to 85 with his ace king of diamonds.
Oh, Matt.
And he's leading
Matt?
out.
Matt holds 5.
And do you straight call with aces, or do you like to re-raise?
Matt's gonna put in a 3-bet. He's gonna re-raise to 260 out of position.
We talk about that often on the live stream.
Yeah.
That if you're just limping and calling.
I feel like it's too short. If he like raised 200, I'd be more comfortable calling that with aces. But if it's just an 85, you don't want him to limp in with Jack 10 suit or something like that and get a flop, right?
No, and Matt's out of
Richard
position.
puts in a raise to 685.
Now this is
And
limp.
Matt's just so happy. Matt's just so happy. So Richard's stacked. He still has 3.1K
Yes,
behind.
$3,000. That's what I would do.
And Matt's got 3.6, so they're almost even stacked. In this game, it's pretty much an even stack. And Matt's just licking his chops.
He's gonna decide whether or not he's gonna slow play his aces. And it looks like he clicked back.
Yeah, this is a raise.
And he put in a little raise.
And he knows he's facing a big hand, which can kind of spook him in some situations.
1-1.
Like if a king pops up, he's like, am I facing kings? And he just hit his strip.
So I'd like to say hello to Jimmy Buffett, Watt Bry.
It's Buffet, by the way. It's a French name.
Jimmy Buffett.
Rich is gonna make the call.
Wow.
He's
Wow.
got position. He's got ace king.
And he's got heart.
Matt's totally capable of making a 4-bet here pre with queens or jacks, so he could very well be live.
All right. Dud of a flop.
Nothing much there for Rich.
$2,000 pot. You can put your kid through community college with that money. That is incredible money.
California, you get free community college, do you not?
Probably
Anyway.
not. It's America, but
Yeah. Action on that. He's gonna lead out. Looks like somewhere around 1,500 or so.
he's got to
12.
protect.
Oh man, those $100 chips just make me so
The guy in the black
happy.
hat is with aces, right? The cards forward is the guy.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. We
You
call
can't
it a
call
tube
it, right?
in
You don't
Canada,
call.
a tube.
He's got
Rich,
nothing.
Here's the thing about Rich. Rich is totally capable of just shoving here.
With air.
And if he thinks that there's a chance that Matt doesn't have aces or kings, or that he can try to represent the set,
think-
Rich is very live. He's gonna
Dick's
get
got
it. There
a
he
pull
goes.
out here.
I don't.
He's got
Oh,
it.
good fold, Rich.
Good fold, Rich.
Rich knows where he's at. So, Watt Bry, how you doing? Where's my yellow submarine? Let's get it out. Let's get it out for Watt Bry. You don't know the history of Watt Bry,
don't.
do you? He brings a yellow submarine with him everywhere. Watt Bry.
Guard protector. Anytime he plays on a live stream, he gets around a lot.
Yeah.
I'm not
It's a
saying-
great instinct song.
He's a hooker. He gets around a lot.
You mean that in the most complimentary way possible, I imagine. You're a poker prostitute, but it's a compliment. Sure.
Jake.
shouldn't use that.
Oh, sorry. I thought that was Jake's phone. I was about to.
Kathy Stahl's in the stream.
Kathy, how you doing? Kathy's actually Northern California's probably most.
I saw her play.
She is
Fun stream. Fantastic.
She's
probably
solid.
the best, one of the best players in Northern California, and probably the best female player. I mean, I say that because I'm pretending to be a worse player than her.
Okay.
No,
Normally, I'm a lot
agree.
better than
No,
her.
I agree.
Number 9.
I would back her stake her long before I would stake you.
She's a brunette. You're a
appreciate it.
I'm
blonde.
buying action on you this weekend. Take off.
I hate you. I'm not selling you any steak.
That's why they put me in the middle, guys. That's separate.
Yeah.
When her right hook comes out, I can just catch it on the chin real quick.
Sean's going to put in a race on the cutoff here with his 9-10 offsuit. Matt makes a call on the button with his queen 10. Go heads up to the flop.
If you want a French fry, let me
King
know.
6-3. Nothing for anybody. First liar takes down the pot.
A lot of whiffs here, yeah. And with that raise, he's got to have a lot of strength representing a bigger hand. The king's awfully scary for obviously duds over there.
Yep. And there goes Matt. He's out of the way.
Everyone's like, you know, let's relax, okay? We just had a $2,000 pot. That's Ken's entire deck, folks. Like, you got to simmer down here.
Some people are asking where the casino is. It's actually not a casino, it's a card room. We don't have any slot machines. We don't have any smoke. We are just 17 tables of poker and 17 tables of other card games. And we're off I-80, off Antelope in Northern California, in Sacramento, Northern Sacramento. We're actually in Citrus Heights.
24 hours of poker, by the way, I just found out, and delicious food, so that
Great food.
Thank God it's an hour and a half from where I live, because I would actually just lose my entire life here.
Like the rest of us.
Or win it.
Or win, that's right.
Wow.
Everyone's fine.
I actually like Jack 9. Jack 9 suited. It's such
It's
a dirty
a beautiful hand, right?
It is.
I'm kind of
I
a
never
suited
expected.
connector. Like, I can't let them go.
So Eric's
We're gonna
first
get along
act,
really
and he's
there.
going to raise here to 75. Can't see his hole cards right now.
Pocket sixes.
Matt's going to make the call with a couple black sixes.
They're saying duck tacos are amazing at Stones.
Keep it low. Keep it low. Let's go to a flop here.
Scotty makes a call with his ace
3 times.
Now, Scotty here has picked up a royal flush draw.
Yeah.
He's got the ace of diamonds, flop puts down queen 10, jack, all diamonds. We don't know what Eric has.
Royal's awfully optimistic, but at the very least, the nut flush.
He's got enough flush draws.
Just 1, 2,
and an inside straight draw. Eric bets 125.
And we don't know what he has. Is Eric the beautiful man that named Plaid?
Eric is seat 8. He's the man in the black shirt.
Oh, okay.
French-looking guy.
Dressed poorly.
Yeah.
Eric. We like to say Eric.
How come Handsome George got the handsome part, or is that actually his first name? And he misspelled it, but it's fine.
You know, he likes the misspelled. It just makes it more unique. You
Sure.
know? He just is Handsome George. We would put Handsome in front of all the guys' names,
Yeah.
but then it would just... It would, yeah.
Ironically, if everyone was handsome, they would be handsome.
Well, George is probably the most handsome guy at the table.
You think so?
Yeah, 100%.
I think you're most qualified to say.
Yeah, I am most qualified, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm right here. I'm right here. Like,
Just because you're wearing plaid doesn't mean you're a part of
here
it.
we go again.
Oh,
Handsome
man.
George, pocket kings, raise to 75.
And Peter's got aces.
Look at
Peter's
what's
got
over
aces.
there.
Oh my
This
goodness.
is the worst.
Oh baby, oh baby, oh baby.
Until the king
This is
hits.
what
Then
you
it's
all
the best
tuned
feeling
in
the world.
for.
And Peter just calls with his aces. He is laying a trap.
Yeah.
Sick.
He's a man after my own heart. I like to hunt the big pots with aces. I really do enjoy.
Oh, you're a dirty bird.
I just
like
straight
it.
call, but it's also a tell.
And here we go.
But 3 spades.
Oh, the king of spades!
So Handsome George is flopping nut
He
flush
knows.
draw, and Peter has top set.
Peter's got to raise big here. If he
There's gonna be bloodshed.
Peter's got to put in a raise here. So
a big raise, I would
George is
imagine.
going to lead out for 125. Action's on Peter.
No.
He's mulling it over.
It's got to be like 300. I mean, what do you call it? What's the raise?
I think he's going to somewhere around 4,
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
4 and a quarter.
Which is more than the pot as it is right now.
No,
but
he's
you've
just
gotta
going to call.
represent a bigger hand.
He's
Oh.
just gonna call.
Oh,
And He's looking
Peter!
at spade of spade. Now he's got aces full. Peter has his hand on lockdown.
Yeah, exactly like I said. I mean, it's just straight
And-
call, and then, you know.
And I
and-
still think he's gonna get some action from George. But
George,
he checks.
George cannot beat the
Oh, no, he
ace. He
didn't.
can't beat the queen anymore. The board's paired. He does have the nut flush draw, but it's no good.
225 into a 435
over.
pot, about half the pot.
325.
Really good odds to call. He's gonna at least get a call here, I think.
You think so?
How do you fold this? It's hard to fold kings
I think
A
he's
single
with a
gonna,
nut flush draw.
I think he's
An
gonna
ace
peel.
beats him? I think he folds. There's too many hands out there that beat him. And if he goes in heady, he knows
Do you
that
hear
there's-
this? He's afraid of the nuts. He's afraid
Wow.
of the nuts.
I don't advocate that globally, but
George
Now he's
calls,
not gonna get
rivers
any
of
more.
3 diamonds.
Peter's not gonna get any more money now. I think he got maximum value from this pot. He's not gonna get called on this river.
I don't know though. Yeah, I just feel like with that call, and there's some part of his brain that's saying, I feel like you might not have an ace or you might not have a queen.
Some people cannot, you're right, some people cannot fold kings or queens, or if they've got a big pocket pair,
I think
they
George
just,
gets away here.
I think so too. but I'm.
750. It's a good size bet.
I
for
know a
Peter.
lot
that-
of people cannot
yeah.
let go of this hand.
It's a good sized bet, but it's also just tantalizing enough. I feel like at being less than half the pot, that it's kind of like it's dressed
Good
up as
fold.
like a call me.
Yeah.
I want you to call me. If you didn't want to call, it'd be like 1.8 or 1,000 or something.
You're so good in this booth. I love
thank
it
you.
in here. I love you in here. Jeez, these gamers. Who knew?
Or is it like,
All the time. A couple big hands open up the straight.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We need a fan in here. It's like so hot in this penalty box.
my wife calls me the lava man because I emanate heat. Actually,
Yeah.
I run hot.
My husband's the same way.
Well, then
when you're
your
around
husband and I
good-looking
can never
women.
be in the same bed. I'll
Yeah.
just have you know. You let that fighter pilot know. Stay away from me, Iceman.
So funny. Like he rolls his eyes every time he hears that crap,
I know he has to.
and he hates
why
it when
I
I
would
play
say-
top
Oh, and
gun.
we go again, Ken.
All right, guys.
Wow! What
be right
is
back.
going on with this?
I'm gonna head over to that table and get myself
And
some
Handsome George has got jacks.
dirty.
I've
We're
been
playing
on the
with a
list
pinochle
for like
deck
an hour and a
tonight.
half.
Tonight, by
He
the
was
way.
escaped though. I feel like, how much did he lose? What would you say, like 1,000 or something, like less than that?
A little under 1,000.
Considering he went into that aces.
Handsome
versus
George has
kings,
jacks.
He's got to be okay with that.
Handsome George is running the aces again.
Oh, handsome George.
Matt opens the board actually, he raises 75, King 10, and Ken just makes a call with his
Ken.
aces. Handsome George makes the call,
Oh, and now it's late. There's
and Matt's flop top pair. Now Matt was the original raiser here. He's got to feel pretty good about his hand. No one put in a 3-bet. He can't imagine anyone's got jacks or aces here, and he's gonna bet out. He bets 120.
and the aces are loving that.
Ken's gonna put in a little raise here.
It's a rainbow flop. There's
A
single
Ken that
king.
raises.
Ken makes it 300.
Wow, a Ken that raises. I love it. I didn't think Ken raised.
It's a learning robot.
And Handsome George correctly gets away from his jacks pretty quick. A bet and a raise in
The
front
king
of him, the
scares
king
him
on
off,
board.
yeah.
It's gonna save him a lot of
Wow, Matt, you're
That's
a
a
sick
great fold.
puppy.
great fold.
Matt, this is why you're such a great player.
The only thing he can really beat there is King 9, and unless he thinks that, I mean, Ken's like playing King 9 today for any particular reason against Matt, who's we all know, I think everyone knows is a really solid player. I don't think anyone's really looking to take marginal hands to war
I'm really impressed
against Matthew.
we were told there was going to be some big hands to start this off, and there have been, but I've been more impressed with the guys getting away from these hands as opposed to the guys going in. Like, we're not seeing
Oh,
someone
I would have
steal a
stacked
pot.
off like 3 times already.
This
I'm
is
already
a,
out.
a
yeah.
10-25. You know, I think a 2-5 game or a 1-3 might have played out a little differently, but these guys are really competent, and this is a lot of money. I don't know. Some of them might play this deep often, like someone like Rich. But some of them, the money might mean a lot more to them, and they're, may not follow through with just the second pair.
Yeah.
On a good night, this is fairly life-changing money for a lot of these guys. Like, you take away a couple of pots and you're going home, hey, honey, I got $20,000 extra all of a sudden, right?
Absolutely.
I've never said that to my husband.
That's why you're in the booth and not at the table.
I know.
So John's gonna limp in here with his ace deuce.
And we've got super secret cards.
Eric
This is the fun
raises
part of the
200
game.
and John makes a call.
We get to
Queen
figure out
10
what
deuce.
Eric has.
Bottom pair, runner, flush draw.
We still can't see Eric's cards. I don't know if he's putting his cards on the reader or not. No, he's got them off the reader. He's got so many chips there. He's
He just
blocking
can't
the reader.
fit them.
Can't even fit the cards on.
Too many $100 chips.
What do I do with all these
Eric
chips?
bets 150.
I just
Oh, he's
Shot
gotta
him.
like that. And now he's inside gut,
Wow.
straight draw, a flush draw, bottom pair, which can get kind of silly with another 2 coming out there, or even an ace. Although the ace is scary because then you're a king away from a straight. And now he's got bottom pair.
So the graphic showed the Jack of Clubs came on the turn. We all saw the board. The turn was the King of Spades.
Mystery man Eric.
John's missed. Eric bets 325,
Wow.
and deuces don't play well
No.
on that board of a player who raised pre-flop and bet all 3 streets.
And I feel like this is too expensive for information call.
Yeah.
But he's gonna, yeah, okay, there we go.
There we go. Eric takes down the flop.
Eddie, nice hand. We don't know what you had, but
Probably better than 2.
probably better than a deuce.
Ends up making
John's got about 6.5K, but he must be down a little bit because I had him down at almost 8K.
He was a solid 2.9 or 3 over everybody else, and now it's kind of he's been immortalized.
I like Callie Donks just logged on. Thanks for joining us. You missed some big hands early on. You're gonna have to go back and watch.
The VOD is available on the channel.
Do we have aces? Was it the first 3 hands?
Aces,
Yes.
first 3 hands.
First 3
Crazy.
hands.
Aces and
We're
kings.
playing out of a pinochle deck, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
And did they all won, but none of them made it big like you would want with aces.
Yeah, especially when aces ran into kings. I mean, that could have got real bad real quick.
Like sapphires, I just want it to be
And
bigger
they
than.
re-rated here, if not once, maybe twice.
Yeah, the kings put in a 4-bet, or I'm sorry,
I can't finish my jokes here because these guys just talk over me. I was gonna make a joke about boobs at Sapphire being big, but that's fine. We don't have to go there. No,
Yeah, that's fine.
it's fine.
We'll get the next round.
it gets better.
Thanks. I appreciate that. I was hoping that by my age it would.
So when the game first started, I went over there to kind of check out the lineup and who was in the game, and Peter was in seat 5.
And upset.
And it was, you could see it like Peter,
He was not happy, and then he finally got his seat.
Peter's a piece of the furniture here, and he's always
Yeah.
in seat 6. It's where Peter belongs, it's where he is.
We should
He's there
just
now,
know that we have to tell the poker room manager, do not put anyone in that seat if Peter's playing, because that's his spot.
It's kind of interesting though, like as a poker player, if you allow yourself that vulnerability of like, if I don't have my seat, like let's say it goes to a
Peter is
tournament.
vulnerable. Leave him alone. No, you know what? Some players just feel comfortable like seeing the board better
Yeah.
in a certain spot.
Understandable, but it's it's such a mental game also. If you don't get your seat, all of a sudden you're flustered.
So Ken's going to open up the action here. He's going to race to 75. Scotty makes the call right with the Jack 10 of hearts.
You see a 3-way action here in a second. Oh, one of the Jack 10s folded.
Scotty's a man of my heart.
John calls with 7s out of the small blind, and Sean defends with the 6-4 offsuit, and Sean is flop bottom 2.
He gets paid off. He calls the bet with 6-4 offsuit.
He's in the big blind. He's
This is-
defending.
Oh yeah, of course. That's what I'm saying. It's a totally normal call. And King
When
Queen
you're-
is loving this. This is
When
a
you're
great flop.
bearded, things just go well for you, you know?
That's true.
Amen. Sean bets 175.
It's a nice flop for pocket sevens also.
Yeah, there's only one overcard with 7s. John's going to make the call.
That 9's actually in a lot of ways nice for him.
And John makes now on the left hand 9s and 7s ahead of Sean's 9s and 6s. Sean gets counterfeited. He's going to bet anyway.
And there's also less chance of Sean
Exactly.
having
A 9.
a 9 right now.
I feel good about that when I have an underpair and I see
It's a good card.
a
Yeah.
weird card
You're
come up
always in the
twice.
pot with
Yeah,
under pairs,
It's a
right?
good card for 7s.
I'm in there a lot.
Hoping for us that
You're hoping to flop it because that's when you can exhale.
2 diamonds on the river.
You're like, oh, okay, thank
Sean
God.
still got the best hand.
now I know all your tells.
That's well.
Sean got
It was
very
going
unlucky
to take
in
that or
this
10
hand.
minutes. Like. But does he know it?
If John checks over, Sean's got some showdown value. He thinks that, I mean, John could have been on a flush draw, could have been on some sort of missed inside straight draw. He's got the pair of 6s. He checks back and gets the bad news.
Sorry, Sean, your 4-6 didn't hold.
Is Sean the guy in the beanie right there?
Sean's
Yeah.
got the beanie.
Why do you Americans call it a beanie? It's a toque.
He looks like
The beanie.
a character from Heroes.
No, he lives in a cave and wrestles bears.
Oh, okay. You're right. That's what I was getting at.
Same.
He's actually, you were asking me about my favorite Twitter follower. He's my favorite Twitter follower. He like closes his accounts, but when he goes on for like 2 or 3 days, he just blasts everybody, and then he shuts down and then opens up a new account. But he's probably one of my favorites. I like Callie Donks is one of my favorites.
Sure.
Jake is not one of my favorites. He's really boring on there.
I'm pretty dry. Yeah. I'm
Not
very,
enough
I'm
porn
very
for my taste.
Yeah, I'm very missionary positioned when it comes to Twitter.
Hey, that's not to be underrated. That's the good old classic.
Yeah. Old
Many
thing.
years of
Don't
marriage.
take
if you tried.
sides with him.
Ken's gonna limp in here with his pocket 8s.
Oh.
Handsome George can put in a raise with a couple red 6s, raise to 100.
If we get a straddle tonight, it's going to be like a 25-50 game.
It's gonna be insane.
That's insanity.
Jack Deuce 3. Ken's 8s are still
These
in the lead.
flops have just been really not rewarding so far. I mean, the 6-4 offsuit, but then it gets punished on
And
the
he
turn.
gets counterfeited.
Well, that's why we got to see who's got the most gusto, who's got the most kahunas.
150 on the flop. See the turn.
2 clubs, not really scary that
Handsome
way.
George, you know, he's not going to let up on this one. I think he knows where he's at, and he's going
You
to
think so?
try to represent a jack. There he goes, and he wins.
Yeah. I mean, if he had a chance to win that pot, he had to be the first to bet, I feel.
Yeah.
A 10 is likely, a jack
And
is likely.
And it connects to so many
Check on the
hands.
turn.
If he would have checked back
Kind
the
of
turn, he's going into
weakness, yeah.
shutdown, and he's pretty much conceding the pot.
Ken, when you watch this later, I'm sorry.
You had the best of it, bud.
You
got
know, if
blue.
you're not folding the best hand once in a while, you're paying a lot of
But you know
people
what?
off.
I think if Ken would have opened there, if he would have raised under the gun, it's a whole different story. Because then Ken or George probably just going to call with the sixes. Ken's probably going to make a continuation bet on the flop.
Yeah.
And George probably just going to fold. Instead, it was the other way around, where he limped in. George was the aggressor, put in the continuation bet. He got one call out of Ken, but then when he fired on another street, then Ken finally believed him and gave him credit.
Don't listen to him. He's drunk.
Okay, you're right.
These things happen.
No,
Just
no.
open.
I agree with you. I
Just
agree.
two cards,
nod.
any position, just blunt force trauma. Lots of aggression.
There's money out there, you just gotta bet. And she's like, sorry about Jake. He had a beer earlier. Really nervous.
It's time. Roger Bailey, can we get him in here every night? How much is it gonna cost?
A helicopter. I drove up here. It was, and I look at my
I
GPS,
know a
hour and a
guy
half,
that-
and I'm like, cool,
I
it'll be
know-
rush hour. 3
That guy
hours.
who could helicopter you here.
Oh, okay.
I'm married to him.
Well, just as long
I
as
mean,
we're
he
on the
doesn't
same
fly
bed.
helicopters, but I'm sure he could learn in a few minutes.
Yeah.
Matrix, they did it.
It's easier than a jet, I would imagine.
Do-do-do-do-do.
A fighter jet. Ace 10
So
suited.
Eric
What a
started
gorgeous
action
hand.
here. He had raised.
You want people to be rewarded on the flop. You want everyone to get a piece and just.
I like it.
You want a communist game.
I do.
Everybody's just equally floppy.
Someone to win every hand, you know? Make it clear and definitive so our job is so boring and easy. We're like, oh, he flopped triple aces. He's gonna win.
Why is the commentator listening to music and
I'm not listening
commentating?
to music.
He's actually
I have
listening to
player
Kurt
chat.
Cobain right now.
Yeah.
He's listening to grunge rock. Look at his plaid shirt.
Yeah.
He's stuck in the
Jake every
90s.
time like, he just takes out. I was like, anyways, I don't know what you guys talk about, but poker.
I was gonna bring my hoodie, just put it over, and like just.
That's how he
Huge
sits
glasses.
at the poker table.
Yeah.
Jake,
The
your thoughts.
poker
Shut
player
up, I won't
starter
tell you
kit.
a secret.
No, I'm listening to the table chatter.
Ken
Actually.
looks like that glass of wine is so delicious, and he's plaid shirt, and oh, that's what we need to be
He's
doing
having a
right
good
now.
time. And the weirdest part too, he plays without pants.
I've been on the wait list of this game for like 2 hours. I'd be in this game right
It's
now
a 2K
without
minimum,
pants.
and you brought 1,900, so it's
I
like, what are you gonna do?
know.
Like,
If someone could have lent me $100, I would have been in this game.
He's 10, Jack.
Scotty limps in with King Jack suited here.
I love King Jack suited, but it's just not a good
I would
call.
have. I would have much rather seen him kind of raise or fold.
Yes.
Definitely. John's gonna make a raise to 85 here with his Ace 10 offsuit.
And Jacks, I feel like got a re-raise if they want a chance here. With the action before this,
right.
you don't want to go to a flop with Jacks here.
I
mean-
agree with you. I would have put in a 3-bet.
So here goes the four-way.
Oh my, that's
It's a
fun
typical Saturday
flop.
night.
So he flops the straight, does Scotty.
Scotty
but he
flops the
sees
straight.
three
Ken's got
clubs.
open-ended.
He sees
Ken's
three clubs.
open-ended.
He's like, you
No
son
one's
of
got
a
a
bitch.
club.
I know, but
He doesn't know that.
doesn't know that. Jack's not feeling so hot right now, so. Well, they're okay.
Ken is looking around like, what is going on with this hand? I'm open-ended. I've got a good pair.
Scotty looks like bet 215. I think he bet more than that.
I like that he put some
Just
money in
wins.
this spot, and everybody folds. Okay.
I bet he feels pretty okay about that. Like, flopping the straight is awesome, but seeing three clubs up there,
Yeah, he was very happy to take on the pot right there. If he got a call, he was not
Yeah.
looking to play a big pot there. If a club comes on the turn, he's done.
if it's rainbowed, he does like a cheeky, like, $100 bet. Like, is there any action out there? And he would have got some action, probably. But with three clubs, you got to swing hard and say, get out.
I like Kelly Donks. I want to know when you're going to be down here for a game. Get down here. He's talking about a different casino. I'm like, you need to get down here. When are you going to be down here?
This is a beautiful place. It's very cool.
It's very nice. No slot machines, no smoke.
Right off the freeway. All kinds of fast food out the door, so if you're feeling really bad about yourself, you can just punish full body afterwards. You're like, I need a colon blast after that loss, you know?
Ken's gonna raise on the button here with pocket sevens, raise to 75. Scotty's gonna make the call with his Jack 9 offsuit out of the big line.
Okay, sees a flop.
Ace 10 3. Nothing for anyone. Ken's got the best hand with his pocket sevens. He's
that
gonna
ace-
make a continuation bet. That's 150, and he's gonna take the pot down. Ken will enjoy the pot and a glass of wine.
Good for him.
And a flannel shirt.
In a flop like that, it can be kind of scary when a guy just kind of like casually limps in, basically. And it's like, oh, I did get my ace 4 and hit on an ace, and yeah, I'll call you. And then you're in a weird position where you're like, well, I want to win this pot, so do I raise big and risk more chips on a hand that I could actually just flat out lose, or do I check and give him more chances to shoot hit his cards?
I think when you got a hand like that, you know, if you let's say if you did have a hand like ace-4 or something like that, your best bet is to you have so much showdown value, you can just check call most streets, and then, you know, if your opponent gets there, your opponent gets there.
Yeah.
And especially against a bluffy opponent, and now that opponent can bluffy, but yeah, why do the especially when the donkey will do the horn? That's why they invite me to games.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because,
I'm glad you
guys both
recognize that.
agreed very quickly there.
Yeah, well, it's obvious.
No love. No love.
We
So
do love
John's
you.
gonna raise here to 85 with his pocket jacks.
It's like jacks, kings, or aces in every hand.
Scotty can't make the call. Still can't see
Mr.
Eric's cards. Eric shows him. What does Eric show? He should show 2 10s.
Wow.
I just want you to know I'm a tight ass, he says.
That's pretty much it, yeah.
Because it was only 85.
And he laid down 2 10s to John, who opened with jacks.
That's super tight.
It's super tight, but I mean, those stacks for those players are so deep. Even if you know your opponent has jacks, you should be calling there 100% of the time just to try to flop a 10. If you think your
1-3 game, what's that the equivalent of? Like a $12 raise?
that'd be equivalent of a $9 raise, but it's okay.
There we
I'll
go.
explain the math later, or like
Thank you.
$10.
I need help with the math. Thanks.
Anyhow, but like even if you know your opponent has a hand like that, and the flop comes low, you can check fold it.
Set minor, right here.
I mean,
Set minor.
it's so.
But we all
It's
should
too
be.
nitty. It does. You don't care if you're ahead or behind there. You can treat your hand like a small pocket pair.
Yeah, I got you.
No,
I
I
mean,
agree.
I get it.
I mean,
I mean,
I
he was
would
behind, he
never
made-
fold that hand even with an ace on the flop.
Barrel.
Barrel. I'm just gonna try to become a Jason.
So here comes John again. John's raising with his pocket tens. He puts in a raise to 85. It says that the graphic says Sean went all in for
That can't be right.
3K with 7-9 off.
7-9 offsuit.
I don't think he did that. I don't think that's accurate. Matt's gonna put in a 3-bet. Matt raises to 240 with his king queen.
I believe he has not gone fully Matt all of a sudden. Mr. Eric.
And we can see Eric's cards
Yeah.
without him
And
showing the cameras.
Very nice. Handsome George folds.
Well played.
Don't ever fold Jack 9 Handsome George. It's a bad move.
Yeah, that's a terrible move.
And John's raking in the pot, so he must have put in a 4-bet.
He went all in, man.
Oh, he shipped it. Oh, wow.
I'm kidding. Wait, it says 2.4 to call. Is this real?
No. So I think John called. John called the 240.
Okay.
So there's another. Okay. So
That'd be really exciting. And there's only one card on the pot. Or on the flop.
Queen 7-6 is our flop. John checks. Matt
Queen?
flopped the best hand with a pair of queens. He
Drake
bets
is not.
255.
Sean Drake is not in the hand. He is not all in.
And he's not all in for 2.7.
He's not playing the board.
Sometimes technology does lie to us.
Looks like John's thinking about making a call here. Just kind of mulling it around. He doesn't like that queen. He's gonna commit the chips here. Jack spades on the
Gotta
turn.
hate the jack.
It's gonna be
What do
really.
you think about that call? I mean, you don't put a guy on a queen, I guess, by
if you're,
itself.
if you're gonna fold a pair every time a flop comes with one card
hand over
higher,
card.
you're probably gonna be losing money in the long run doing that. Your opponent generally, especially someone like Matt's,
But do you
always in a
re-raise?
continuation bet.
Oh my
John's river
Whoa!
set.
Or you just wait for a set.
Yeah, I guess that is the sick life. A little bit of a reaction from him, by the way, though.
Yeah.
Takes off his earbuds, gets excitable. Something to look in on the river. And if he gets called and shows his tens, that's a bit of a tell.
People definitely have tells that they don't even realize they have when they hit their card or
Yeah.
and yeah, just
And
a,
he's
just a
gonna
call, yeah.
Wow.
And he's gonna see the bad
Looks
news,
like
and he's like, I just let you get
5:30.
there. Yeah.
John's at 5:30 of the river, and Matt calls and hates it.
It's a big pot. That was $9.7
I
thousand
don't
dollars.
know what Matt thought he could beat there.
And now we have a chip leader
I mean,
by a lot.
I
Really?
don't think that's that accurate because they thought it was an all-in pot. I think.
No, he
Let's
bet,
just run with it.
530 on the turn.
Yeah. No, I'm saying he doesn't have 13K.
No, I like it.
No,
Way
no,
more
no.
exciting. We stick to the storyline. That was $9.7 thousand. And look at how blasé it is to them.
Do you think that being a gamer makes you a better poker player?
I think specifically StarCraft helps you with poker a lot. You're making a lot of decisions off of limited to no information.
Yeah.
You have to make quick decisions too, and then a lot of the mental aspect of the game too. Like there is a indirect way of applying pressure to specific players, like isolating them and wearing them down, getting them to tilt against you specifically. A lot of that's in StarCraft as well.
And we know
I
that
need to check it out.
there's been a couple other players that have crossed from StarCraft over to poker.
Elky.
Bertrand Grispelier.
And you're friends with Elky, right?
Yeah.
That's very cool because he's a very respected
He's
poker
amazing.
player in. I mean, every poker
Everyone
player.
is a heck of a StarCraft player. Does he still
Yeah.
play?
Oh yeah.
Right on.
Not like actively and professionally, but I think he dabbles. Another friend, well, I think I don't get to call him a friend, but an acquaintance, Jason Somerville, dabbled in some StarCraft for a while as well.
There we go. Poker.
He's now at that tournament, the PCA or whatever. Wish him
Yeah.
luck. Streaming that as well if you want to check out more poker.
Awesome. So yeah, there you go. Don't hire a poker coach. Just start playing StarCraft. And
Yeah.
Then you come back
I
to the
need to go
table.
check
I have
it
a
out.
lot of
Crush.
friends that made the cross.
Yeah.
I'm gonna actually check out your one of your live streams. I'm really interested to see
Yeah.
what this is. I'm just a gaming world newbie.
It's weird too because you're only 28 years old.
I know,
it's, like,
right?
Right within your.
I know, like, and I always get hit up by 21-year-olds. It's
Yeah.
like they have no idea I'm 28.
Way out of their age bracket.
You're-
and
you're
your husband
perfect.
could literally bump you, so.
I like Callie Dawkins. He used to be a
Wouldn't be a good
Master
choice.
player. He used to play
You're
Madden.
so perfect in the booth. I mean, I don't know why we didn't have you in here from day one.
Well, he had to do a mortgage on the place, but
I used to be a pro Madden player.
hey man,
I
Madden's a
like
great game.
Sean's gonna raise here to 75.
With mystery hands,
Super secret cards, as I like to call them.
feeding time in that corner over there. Wow, Bronco player has 5 bottles of water. Imagine his bladder.
It's impressive.
He's basically a camel.
And Rich is gonna put in a re-raise here.
You think like a nurse.
Rich makes it 275 to go. How old is Jake? I'm probably.
I know.
Let me guess, and then you tell me if I'm right.
I don't
You
look
are-
28. I look like I'm 21. I know. Thanks.
33.
You're right there.
What are you?
He's like 45.
32.
No.
32.
You're such a freaking liar.
I know.
I almost put out a
then-
F-bomb.
Well, you did. I mean, there's no almost do.
Wow. Alec,
You never guess a woman's age unless you want to do the
Yeah.
charming low ball. Like, you're 24.
Hey, you're such a sweetheart. It's 87.
Wop Rye, Yellow Submarine. Gonna get you back in the game here, Brian.
Awkward silence time.
Awkward silence.
No, that's okay in broadcast. It's okay. We're focused.
It's time to snuggle and get to know each other a little better physically.
Yeah.
Love somebody.
Like I love you.
Okay, all right, put it away now.
Put what
Stick
away?
to poker. Yeah.
Ace-8 suited, okay, but not great. But look at the rest of the field.
Ken's gonna limp in here with his ace-8 suited. Peter's gonna put in a raise here to 75.
These are, I find
sorry,
that
raise to
oftentimes this is where it gets bloody, actually, is where it's kind of like nobody has anything, it's all rags. But someone's like, you know what? I'm tired of being pushed around, I'm gonna start bluffing. And then somebody else is feeling the same way. But no, nothing here.
Yeah, boredom, managing going card dead and boredom at the poker table has got to be one of the most, profitable and or unprofitable situations.
Worst part about my game by a mile.
And people get bored, they go card dead, they want to open up and start playing.
Yes. When I get
junk.
big stack, my range opens up outrageously.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm just gonna pay him off.
And it should. I mean, cash game, you should be. It's an old Harrington kind of thing where you're buying in deep into a cash game and you're opening up your range a lot more than if you were in a tournament.
Yeah.
Because you can.
Do you guys prefer tournament or cash games, Steven? The age-old question.
I love tournaments, but they're just,
So for me, cash games are better. They're more profitable. They're better. That said, tournaments are more fun to me. Like I have more.
And if
I have
you
more
bake
fun
a
playing.
tournament-
Then that's like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Making a big tournament. I say that's a lot of fun. It's got to be a lot of fun.
That's what the glory's got to be.
I have no idea.
Tournaments, poker.
Tournaments are fun. To
Nobody,
me. I mean,
nobody really talks about cash
I'm a
games
12th
winning.
place champion.
Yeah,
Yeah, around here. We got my name on the wall. 12th place winner.
over by the bathroom.
Yeah, on the stall.
And before that is Call Me.
Someone mentioned Magic. I know a lot of players that have played Magic, crossover to poker too.
Yes. Yep.
It's another popular game.
That one, if there is a generalization to make, a lot of the grinders in poker actually come from Magic, where there's a grinding aspect to Magic as well.
I don't know how, like I know how StarCraft works. I've actually played StarCraft when I was younger. I don't even know at all how Magic goes and how Magic works, which may be a major hole in my poker game. Maybe I don't know.
Sometimes football
There's
players
a lot
take
of them.
ballet to become better football players.
Exactly.
Poker players can take Magic to become
You're
better
like
poker players.
a Canadian street full of potholes.
Oh wow. I think that's as close as a Canadian gets to dissing you, by the way.
Pardon.
I'm so sorry.
So sorry, but
Can't believe I just said that.
you're not good at that, eh?
Look, Sarah, our favorite dealer, is in the cash game right now. She's about to rip it up.
Free money, everyone. Sarah is in the cash game,
Oh, I hate playing with dealers. They wreck me.
and she's not persistent on Brendan though. Brandon, sorry, I call him Brendan. Back to our game.
All right.
Michael's dealing in our game.
Oh, Michael.
Great beard.
Great beard, handsome gentleman. Most of the dealers here are.
Ken limps in again with his pocket fours. Ken's doing a lot of limping tonight. We saw him limp his eights, limp fours now, limp ace eight. These are all hands that he wants to get to a flop with, doesn't want to miss a lot of money. But I think what he's going to find out is these players are not just going to let him get away for cheap. That said,
It has some
limps
profit.
through.
He's one of the smaller stacks. He's 2.2K.
Yeah.
A lot of times playing more hands is actually what kills you in poker.
King 6-7.
I find, in my amateur world.
Sean's pair of sevens with a three kicker is actually ahead right now, but he's not really loving his hand.
Yeah, he doesn't.
He doesn't care. He bet.
He bet 50, takes down. That's how you win bracelets, ladies and gentlemen. You
know
feel
what?
like you have the best hand, fire out, you just take down the pot.
Now that he puts on that jacket, I do see your point. I think he does wrestle bears.
I'm telling you.
Yeah,
He could win medals wrestling bears.
probably.
He sleeps under a bear hide that he made himself. So a lot of new players here today.
Yeah, we saw Scotty there in seat 7. He was in our first 10-25 game. Haven't seen him since. Good to have him back. Eric in seat 8. I've played with him here.
I haven't seen him, yeah.
But it's first time being on the live stream.
I love that Richard's back. Richard always gives us good action, like a good hot Saturday night.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. He said, who has a bracelet?
Oh,
Sean.
older marriage.
Sean in seat 3 has a bracelet. He won the
He won the dealer, the
Employees
casino
event.
employees event,
Employees event.
and then he got third. Yeah, and
got
then
a
he got
bracelet.
third place in the Monster Stack
the
last
following year.
Holy cow. Good for him.
We actually have a lot of great local players that there's some bracelets
Accomplished
around
players,
here.
yeah,
Very
there's
accomplished
some.
players.
Taylor Parr was online player of the year.
Mike Postle, NEUP Player of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
Andrew Barber, 2015 10K horse champion at the World Series of Poker.
Jeez.
There are some crushers in this area.
$1 million prize.
That
Yeah.
is the baby Drake.
That is the baby Drake with the beard and blasting on Twitter. Oh, he's my favorite on Twitter.
And two very, very, very competent players are now getting mixed in a pot. Matt and Sean.
And he flops the nut flush.
And
The check mark on the flop is,
and he's
is a
going to bet
good
right out.
feeling.
And Matt knows
Going
here
dead
that he needs to make
on
a bet here. If he tries to play it slow, it's going to look so suspicious.
And that's almost too suspicious. I feel like when you flop the nuts, you kind of represent defending. Like I would go 1,000 or 500 and be like, I got nothing, bro. But of course he would have flopped, or he would have folded. Excuse me, with 9 jack.
And Sean's going to float here with
It is
red
very
cards.
polarized, where it can be, it can be the nuts or nothing.
I would almost, I don't know.
I think
it's
Sean
just
gets away
managing
here,
how much
yeah.
you can win is what Matt's trying to do.
425. I think Sean can get away here, but it's a good card to bluff if you're gonna bluff a card.
Wouldn't that be amazing? He goes re-raise and puts like 1,500 and you're just like, ah!
And Sean is very, very capable of that.
Especially with a paired board, Matt would hate that.
Because he knew it. He flopped the nuts. He knows that. You look at the cards and there's no runner that kills you.
Matt doesn't know if
never
Andre
mind.
has a set.
Actually, I just take that all back. You're absolutely right.
One of the best.
That'll happen.
And he shows.
Yeah.
He shows.
I'll just be 100%
He showed
wrong.
it.
Yeah, he
So
showed.
one of the funniest things I ever heard a poker player say was at a tournament. I heard Sean. He was firing another bowl in a tournament, and someone asked him like, "Oh, what happened?" You know, he's rebuying, and he said, "Oh, I couldn't get a guy to fold his straight flush, even though the board was paired."
Sean
That's me.
That's Sean. I mean, he is always capable of repping, you know, any scare card, anything on any time.
He's kind of a beast. He's one of those guys that chips up real early in a tournament and destroys everybody's will to live, or he'll bust out and have to fire a few more bullets. But when he's on your table, he's very dangerous.
Or he goes to the salad bar afterwards.
Yeah,
Just like,
it's hard to put him on a range. He's really, he's a pressure cooker. I don't want him at my table when I'm playing.
and if he is, you want to be on his left. That much is for sure. And here goes Sean again, right here. Sean's in the cutoff, and he raises to 150 with his ace-5 offsuit.
Should be able to take it down.
Scotty's going to make the call out of the big blind.
Position means a lot to Sean, and ace-5's not a bad hand in late position.
Ace-Jack-5. Sean flops 2 pair. All clubs. No one has any clubs.
But this time I know. He doesn't know that.
And here,
And he's just, I don't think he's going to get any more money out of Scotty.
225 from Sean. Scotty gets away.
Even with it being 3 clubs, you feel pretty good about that because another 5, another ace, and all of a sudden you're rescued.
The probability that your opponent flopped the flush.
Like the last hand.
Although it does happen, it's small, blurred. And you're always going to bet that.
Yeah.
And you probably hope that your opponent has an ace with a club. And then you hope he misses.
I'm an optimist as well.
Yeah. Veronica let's give me a hard time about that. I always call like, oh, he's got backdoor, clubs, backdoor hearts.
Backdoor to a gut
He's
shot.
3 to a straight, 3 to a flush.
Yeah.
How do you fold?
He doesn't understand equity. I've been trying to
Neither do
train
I.
him about equity, but you notice I said train.
Looks like a familiar friend here, Chris Hinchcliffe, is in the chat box with us. How you doing, Chris?
Ace King from Rich.
Are you kidding me?
Chris Hinchcliffe Christofferson.
Rich
Rich-
has got the nuts as far as he's concerned right now.
Yeah, Rich has got ace king, which is better than he's used to looking at here. So raised to 175. Scotty's got a great hand out of the big blind, 8-9 of spades. He'll make the call.
Nice call, Scotty.
We agree with this. I love
Yeah.
this hand. I hope he gets rewarded, but it's going to be like 3/4 diamonds and
And
then
Eric
king.
makes the call.
He's just like,
Stop being so
okay.
negative. This stream just started.
Oh, I was kind of almost right, but that's actually a really good hand.
3-6-7.
There you go.
Scotty's open-ended.
He would have liked a couple more spades.
But he's 3 to a flush.
It's
He's got
a backdoor flush draw, and he's open-ended.
Open-ended.
He
It's
wants a
not going
5 of
anywhere.
spades.
and he's going to
And
fire
he's
right
betting
out.
into this. I like it.
Looks like 360-ish.
Well, you have to if you want to win this hand, right? When you're open-ended like that, you can't just.
Richard might call just to see one more card.
Nope. Oh, he hates folding there. He knows he's
Terrible flop for him. He's got 2 overs. That's all he's open
A
for.
lot of people in Sacramento, I'm telling you, just float
It's
the
not
flop
just
with ace king.
Sacramento. It's everywhere. That's everywhere. Every card room. A lot of players, they either float one because it saves their opponent miss, or B because they have 2 shinies and they can't fold
Yeah.
their shinies. Not Rich. Rich gets out of the way.
Rich, though, if he had put him on air, or I guarantee you, if Scotty checks, Rich bets. 100%.
And that board, honestly, if I was in Scotty's position, I would have been looking for check raise because that board misses your opponent so many times that you can.
I think he would have got more value out of
more
his
value,
hand if he check raises.
and even if his opponent's got a hand, let's say like tens or jacks, a check raise there looks super strong. Could be pocket sixes, pocket sevens.
That's what I have a tough time with though.
And I think the way I play that hand, and I actually look that board misses my opponent's range so many times.
Don't listen
I
to
second
us.
guess myself.
We're
So,
amateurs.
like, if it's not big action before the flop, and they go in with a small pair just wanting to see the flop, and then with that kind of a flop, all of a sudden you're like, well, do they have a monster, or are they actually just calling it queen king?
And I think you can get your opponent off a lot of hands there, so that actually beats you.
I like this new can. Drinking wine, wearing plaid, flannel, having a good time, talking.
Not wearing pants.
And you've been replaced.
And here's Sean, raised to 150, 8 deuce.
Oh, Sean, you make me happy inside.
You might get action out of the jack queen. He should. Only at 125 is in the blinds.
Someone puts in a re-raise here. Raise to 650.
Wow, handsome
Okay,
George.
get out.
George.
Get
Eric
out.
had made the call with the queen jack suited.
And he doesn't have his cards of the reader. We can't see what he's got, but he might show aces.
And handsome George has vices. Wow.
Wow.
Eric, a couple good
Don't
points.
show the table. Oh, I like bluffs shown.
Did you never show? Oh, you show bluffs.
Okay,
I do too.
it's a thing because I'm a girl.
You get like
I
3 drinks inside of her, she starts showing all sorts of stuff. It's
pocket rockets. Here's my bra.
I'll order. What was the beer you were drinking? She'll have another one.
So yeah, just as a girl, everyone always thinks you have the nuts, so you get a little bit more action if you show some bluffs.
Words to live by for our young viewers. You'll get more action.
So it looks like Rich has a straddle on. Rich has got the $50 straddle on.
$50 straddle, baby. This is why we have Richard in the game.
So, for those of you just joining us, we're playing 10-25 tonight, and Rich has got a $50 straddle.
The price of poker has just gone up, and we have a little raise.
That's awesome.
John looks like he put in a little raise.
8-3 suit, it's kind of cute. Pocket fours.
John made it $150.
9-10 even might. Oh, he folds. Never mind.
150 to go.
And he's gone.
Rich might. Let's see.
And notice how everyone kind of snugged up there. $50 straddle. It changes.
Rich might defend here. Yeah, he's defending.
Rich defends with the Jack A. Ace King 5.
And this is a good flop for Rich. He might know it. If he bets out here, he might win the spot. And he checks.
John raised, who was first to act. I don't think Rich is really going to commit a lot of checks. John checks
this
back.
Check on the turn has to, or on the flop has to.
Now
call
Rich is going to bet out.
Yeah, he has to bet out here with that check. Come on, Rich. I know you better than this.
I was just gonna say he will check.
No.
I wasn't gonna say that.
And John checks back again.
Rich!
Now Rich River's the best hand.
Now he's gonna
But
win.
does he believe that?
He checks. I think he's worried that John was setting some sort of a trap here, that he wasn't. After raising an early position, Rich was having a hard time believing that John wouldn't make a continuation bet there with any pair, anything there. And Rich was, I think, very much worried about putting any kind of a bet and then getting raised. Well, Rich takes down the hand, and you know what? If John would have put in any kind of a bet on any point before that river came, he would have taken down the pot. And when your opponent checks to you twice, he has position on Rich. Rich checks the flop, checks the turn. He's showing no sign of strength. At some point
Neither
there,
one of them are.
sticking a little bet there. Even if you had like sixes, which are on top of John's fours at that point, with the ace king.
When John checks the flop, Rich should have put in a bet right there.
I thought Rich would have inspired the turn.
They both went in with pretty silly hands, and you want to represent the ace.
Someone I thought would have bet the turn there. I thought Rich might have led it.
The pot wasn't too big either. Like, I don't think there's any fear of like raising 150 or whatever and then getting called 500 or something, or re-raise rather.
So Scotty's gonna throw in some chips there. Scotty's gonna make it 155 to go with 10-7 offsuit.
Oh baby.
No one else really has much of a hand to play with him.
Might take it down.
And he'll take down the pot. So yeah, John had put in the $50 straddle in that hand. So we're
Wow,
looks
we're
like
getting
players are going for a round of straddle.
Oh, round of straddle
Sean got
here.
the straddle in
Sean
next
Drake's
game
got
as well.
This is so sick.
It's 10, 25, 50 here at Stone's Gambling Hall.
Come on
Yeehaw.
down. The action is live.
So I think we have 25 people on the 10 and a quarter list. We have one game right now, but we do have a couple 5-10s, I believe, or 5-10, a couple other
I
5-5s.
think Roger was saying they were opening up another 10-25
We're getting another 10 and a quarter game. Yeah, a 10 game, and we do have 5-10 going right now as well. On top of all the 5-5 and 1-3.
And make sure you guys come out on Saturday to our Mega Satellite, to our High Roller event on Sunday. $1,100
$240 buy-in.
on Saturday.
1 out of 5 gets a
Guaranteed
seat in the
15
$1,100 buy-in, 100K guarantee high roller event.
on
amazing.
Sunday. We're trying to convince you to come in.
Won't miss a Seahawk game. Can't do it.
We have like 90 TVs in here.
You look just like Matt Damon. Does anyone tell you that?
I have actually been told that.
People ask you.
I didn't want to say it, but I was like, man, he looks
It's not that bad. You're like an 80% Matt Damon.
I appreciate that. Thank you. He's a good guy. Great actor.
He is a good guy. Like him and I are good friends. He's a good guy. Yeah.
Eric raises to 125. Sean makes the call out of the straddle with a 10-7 offsuit. Sean flopped himself a pair of 10s. Don't know what Eric's got.
Pair of
A
sevens.
menu.
Pair of 7s. I say 10s. I said 10s.
That's
didn't I?
okay.
It's all right.
You're just here for the looks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously.
You're the arm candy. It's a beard candy.
Beard candy. I like that.
Eric checks it down.
Yeah, I think Sean's good here.
Did you just muck it? No, they showed.
No,
He should. And Sean gives a little fist pump. Sean.
All right.
Sean's all right. 10-7.
500 over $500 pot with 10-7 check down.
And I think, yep. And here goes. Is Matt gonna put in the straddle? There's Matt puts in the straddle. $50
$50 straddle, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, 10, 25, 50 game. Who loves it more?
And they're all getting menus too. I'm worried this will become feeding.
So Ken's gonna be first back here. He's under the gun +1.
There's
And he's
10s.
still reading the menu.
Yeah.
There's no actions on him. And
Ken's like, wait a second, I gotta see. Oh,
Mike's telling him, sir, Ken, play your hand.
Peter's showing him
Oh,
the
I'm
good
sorry. Was it
salads on
me?
the menu.
Was it on me?
Because Peter's always eating salads.
Peter
here.
is always eating salad. And Ken finally gets out of the way. Action over on Peter. He's got the jacket of clubs, and he's going to make it 150 to go. 175. Peter is the 175. Scotty's right behind him with pocket 10s. And he's going to put in a 3-bet. Call 175.
This is all over the place.
Call 175. Stand corrected. Gonna fold around. It looks like these guys are gonna take the flop heads up
Jack 8 suited.
versus pocket
Brilliant
10s.
Air would be really excited about that.
Queen 10. And
that-
Scotty has
oh
folded
my
himself 10
God.
full. Peter's got an inside straight draw on backdoor clubs.
Yeah, but we know Peter's
needs
not.
a straight
And he
flush to
shakes
beat them.
someone's hand. You think
And he's
getting
very
closer.
alive. So Peter turns a straight,
open-ended.
has an open-ended straight flush draw, and is actually not drawing dead to Scotty's 10s full.
it's so
Poker.
sick.
Open-ended straight flush.
7 of clubs or Jack of clubs. Well,
The
sorry,
seven
Queen of
is
clubs.
so
Queen of clubs.
No, the queen can scare him off, man.
I mean, Peter bets 200 into Scotty's 10s full. Now Scotty's gonna put in a little raise here. He's probably gonna make it somewhere around 750, 650 to go. Cuts out a little raise.
What if you folded?
Never.
Peter's not folding this.
So you got Queen 10,
I think you have
Queen
pocket
10.
queens.
Peter's
Use
gonna
pocket
call
queens.
this raise. Peter's gonna call the raise.
Absolutely.
You can't fold a straight flush draw.
Scotty's doing a great acting job here.
Yeah, he, wants,
my
he
God,
doesn't
what?
want it to instant call to
Yeah,
show.
Queen. Oh, what? And you know, it's gonna look super shady when you're doing that whole oh my God, what to do, and then raise. It kind of really tips off the hand that
Unless he just calls knowing he
Yeah,
has
he's
the nuts.
calling.
and he just calls.
Because he wants to get paid off.
Ace is no good for Peter, but he's still got it straight.
He should get nothing from. Oh, he has a straight, you're right.
He does have a straight.
A sneaky
Yeah,
one too.
Super secret straight. And
Wow.
Peter's,
And he's just so happy about it. He's like, oh yeah, bet. Ugh.
and he's got
He's
a
checking to see if he's got a boat here.
The only thing that Scotty's really worried about is ace queen right now.
So it's a little less than half pot bet, and he's got to put in a raise. He's got to maximize his
At
value
least
from this
800,
hand.
would you say, or what?
I think
there's the
like a
raise.
950 would be good.
Oh, 3-bet. Or no, wait, what was it?
A
He
raise.
raises.
It was 800, okay. I saw the pot, that's why I said 3-bet. I'm an idiot, is what I'm trying.
Raise tonight is a really small raise.
Did I say 950? Did I say 950?
I was not
I am
listening to you at
genius.
all.
I am
To
genius.
be honest, we didn't. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
neither of you listen to me?
No.
Huh?
I said a raise to 950 would be perfect. He's a big
She's
paid
still
off.
saying something I don't
Every time
understand.
it's right there.
I hate
Canadian,
my life.
I don't.
And Peter makes the call.
Yeah, he's
Gets the bad news. and Peter will probably show him that like I wasn't drawing dead on the turn. Somehow, some way. What a
If he can get past the wound, I mean, it's $1,000 out of his pocket,
yeah.
give or take.
Peter's been playing for a long time. He's a competent player. It's not gonna, you know.
He may order some extra dressing with his
He'll-
salad tonight,
yeah,
but
yeah.
he'll get some more ranch
He'll
on
get
my
over
salad.
it. He'll shake it off. You know, he's generally a very profitable player in our live stream. So he's a solid, you know, plays solid hands, and it's just bad luck on his part. He did make a pretty good hand on the turn.
Yep. Wouldn't that 7 of clubs been cool though?
It would have.
Cooler. It would have been a cooler.
Do they do high hands here, anything like that?
They have a bad beat. I think any that hand wouldn't have qualified, but any quads beat is 45K right now. Or any quads beat.
I was in Vegas when a bad beat hit. I got paid $1,200, I think it was. It was huge. And it was everyone sitting for the
Oh,
bad
wow.
beat. I wasn't at the table
Yeah,
even.
everyone usually.
Oh, room share. Wow.
Yeah. No, it was property share. It was across like 4 casinos. Yes. It was
Wow.
the big bad beat. It was quads losing to a straight flush.
I was in a bad beat once in a casino that didn't have a bad beat.
And you were like, is there a bad beat?
I made $300 in a 1-3 game.
That is the bad beat. That is the bad
That's a bad beat.
You got the bad beat.
That's Ethos bad beat, yeah.
Peter's going to raise up here to 100 with his ace-10 offsuit. Scotty's right behind him with a 9-5 of spades. He'll make the call. Matt's going to call with king-9 suited.
Cards have calmed down a little bit, by the way. We start off the stream with triple,
Yeah, a
3
lot of
hands of
aces.
pocket aces. There's kings, there's jacks being faced off. Now we're getting
Pretty
funny
good flop
flops.
here for Scotty. Scotty flops a flush draw and an inside straight draw.
Yeah,
No one else has anything.
pretty good, he says. Says the optimist. I like the flush part. But
And Scotty's going to fire right out. Peter checks, and here goes Scotty. 155 or 180-ish. And Matt and Peter will get out of the way. Good bet by Scotty. He'll take down the pot.
Isn't there a song with Scotty in it?
Go ahead, sing it.
Scotty's got a gun or something like that, right?
No, that's Jamie.
Well, everyone's got a gun in America, but yeah, to be fair.
True that.
Okay, you make it. I'll pick it up next round.
My quad jacks lost to quad aces. Drac Rax, you're lying.
You know what?
You're on the internet. Unbelievable.
Yeah, my quad 9s beat quad 8s.
Alright, the royal flush.
I made
Lose.
$300. It was good.
At least you made it in a casino
It's
that
at the
doesn't have the
win.
bad beat.
It was at the win. Yeah.
Can you imagine losing the bad beat and then being like,
Yeah, I would've
did I
lost
win
$300.
$100,000? And they're like, no, we don't have that. And you're like,
Yeah.
oh, so I just lost money. And they're like,
That
yeah.
was the only time.
Because the bad beat, the people that lose get paid more.
Yeah, yeah.
That's amazing. I lost. No, sir or madam,
You won.
Your bad luck is fortunate here today.
We reward bad luck.
I saw a guy pulling slots at, I think it was Caesars, and he hit the jackpot and was really upset. He won $25,000, but I was a young kid, I was like 14. I was like, why are you mad? And he goes, if I would have quad bet on it, I would have won that. And he pointed up and there was a Dodge Viper on top of all the slots. So he won $25,000, but was upset because he could have won a $70,000 car.
So here we go. Eric had started the action here by raising his pocket jacks. Peter made the call with the king-queen. Flop came down king-jack-5. Now the deuce of diamonds peels off on the turn. Eric's got middle set. He's still playing it slow. I don't like that.
One more diamond? No.
And Peter, God, everyone's just playing super slow.
Just gets called.
And then
folds.
Peter bets 450 and Eric flats. Eric calls and then shows them trip jacks that are good.
Wow. Hey, Rick and Barstow, nice to see you on the live
Eric
stream.
didn't like the third diamond hitting the turn.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And I would have thought he would have put in at least a bet there to see where he was at. To see if Peter goes for a check raise. I think he lost a little bit of value in that hand. Good evening, Rick and Barstow.
We got a professional gamer in the booth with us if you guys don't recognize
Jeff Robinson.
him.
Remember the hand when you raised?
And he's a pretty cool guy, too.
Good shirt.
Not just good looking.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Okay. All right. It's already so hot in this booth.
Yeah.
It's because I'm in here, I know. I'm
That's
sorry,
true.
guys. You notice,
We were
like,
complimentary. We said,
Yeah.
yeah.
the plaid. The plaid.
We didn't even
Well,
ask
finally,
for
we're
it.
gonna convert you over for any kitchen run music. You're gonna love it. It's gonna be great.
Ever.
The worst. Why? Why?
I went to a Green Day concert once. That was
That's not
rad.
grunge.
Yeah, it
That's
is.
not grunge. It's not grunge.
Yeah, it is.
Here's the potential hand. Jack King, Ace 5 on the lower end, Queen Jack.
Mirage, you get a high. Hello.
2-5 suited if you're feeling really frisky. You need to call him.
So Rich puts in a raise. Rich makes it 80 to go. Looks like we're done with the $50 straddles for now. Ken makes a call with
Oh.
King Jack.
He's short stacked. 1.1. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I think he's.
So he's down at probably 1,000 at least
He
tonight.
had 3,200 earlier, Peter. You're talking about Peter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
668.
Nothing for anybody. Ken's King High is still in the lead. They both have backdoor art draws. Ken's is best.
First to bet. Well, actually, with this flop, you might not believe it.
And Rich bets 125.
Well, it's
Ken
a fold.
folds and power of aggression.
Look at that, 1.1K
We're
down.
told that we all look like a Sears commercial.
Only if we all laughed at all our jokes that way. We're like,
Everyone tilt your head slightly more to the left.
what do I do with all these apples?
You want to come in here next week with us?
Yeah, this is fun. Chef aka Slick Rick. I know.
Hold the mask.
My hair looks better in person. On camera, it looks like a
Yeah, it looks so good.
like
in
a Star
person.
Trek alien.
Mine
actually.
too.
Me too. This is a wig, actually. My real hair is it's much nicer.
Brian wants us to hold up some craftsman tools, right? We all right out of the Sears catalog. We're the best.
God. It's like one of my favorite parts about commercials is it's just like it's such not a replication of life. They're like, you know, the family is like perfectly diversified between everyone that they adopted 3 times, and then they're like, tell me about the new car that you got. Well, the Ford is outperforming the Toyota 3-1 right now. Like, nobody talks that way. Nobody says that. Why do we advertise that? No, anyways, poker.
Matt's gonna put in a raise
Makes us hit
here
our line.
75, 78. The club. Scotty makes a call with Jack 9 offsuit. We go heads up to the flop.
I like this.
I
This
like
is a
it
fun
too,
hand.
right? I like it too. I like these.
Scotty is going deep on some kind of dessert too at the same time.
Ace deuce 7.
Is that not Scotty?
No, that's Ken.
That's Ken.
He's,
Damn
he's
it.
jamming some good stuff in his pie hole.
Ah.
I like it like that. Yeah.
It's not an innuendo when you work that hard to make it very clear.
Matt made a
7 hits,
continuation
but the
bet.
ace is scary, right?
Yeah, like, it looks like Matt put in a little continuation bet. Scotty got out of the way, and Matt will take down that pot.
Veronica wearing a wig for real, I can't tell.
I am, yeah. Both the curtains and the carpet are a wig. Do you notice I crack
This
myself
is a
up?
very confessional commentary.
We're in the confession booth.
Well, you are. We're in a, yeah.
Penalty box, confession booth. It's hot in here.
I get really nervous if Jake
It's gonna
starts
get
busting out the
crazy.
super private stuff as well. Well, I got to share too, I suppose.
You should see the text I get.
Can we get chips on 11, please?
Is it weird if I have a third testicle?
Andrew Barber in the chat box. He said he'll see us this weekend. Andrew, you coming in town for the high roller event?
He is. He is. He's playing on
Excellent.
Sunday.
Now,
I
he said
just-
it's a special event, and so he's selling at like 1.69.
It's okay, Barbara. I'm selling at 2.1. So
It's a special event.
everyone wants to buy.
Is there
obviously.
rebuys in this, or if you bust, you're out?
Cash cans in this?
Yeah.
No, reload.
Just reload
barrels,
as much as you
barrels.
want.
Barrel.
Stack off.
So back to the kind of the original question, at 1.1K, do we just think he's not wanting to lose more and just hanging out, or do you actually, you should have more of a stack in there, right?
Some players like to, I don't say they like to, but some players prefer to play through one bullet completely, so if they buy into the game for 2K or 4K or whatever much, they will want to work that either down to the felt before they reload, or other players like to top off. I personally, I like to top off. So if I'm sitting at a game, you know, where everyone's playing 200 big blinds, I want to have 200 big blinds in front of me. And so if I lose a pot, you know, for whatever, I try to top off.
And you also you have to understand the dynamic changes for some of these players because some of them aren't used to playing this big, so the game changes for them. And some of them this is a normal buy-in for them, or the money doesn't mean as much. So it depends on how much they've got in their bankroll, I think. How comfortable they are with losing or...
I feel like for most of these people, this is the bigger game for them, right? Like there's...
This is a bigger game for Sacramento.
For Sacramento, yeah, the 10 and a quarter game. This is one of the bigger games that you get. 5, 10.
Does it get bigger than this? Has it?
Privately, maybe.
Well, okay,
Private
not
games,
here.
maybe. But you know, I haven't seen a bigger than a 10 and a quarter game in a card room in Northern California since I've been here. Now, mind you, I've been at every single card room or during every game every weekend.
I know that there have been some pretty big games, maybe even a 25-50 after like a big WPT event where there's a lot of pros in town, but I can't confirm nor deny that. Andrew Barber might know because he's usually in the bigger tournaments. I heard last year that after the WPT it got pretty big. The one you won a seat to?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Jake won a big seat this weekend.
I need a big seat. I'm a large mammal.
Take the compliment.
Matheson raised here to 75 with his ace 10. Everyone folds. We're big to the pot.
I'm going to be under this table in a few minutes.
Andrew's like 25-15 in Auburn, 2008.
In 2008? Jesus.
Wow. That's a big game. I mean,
it's kind of a 25-50 game today. There was a round of straddle.
Deuces were wild. My goodness.
Wow.
Oh God.
You guys are sick. Absolutely sick.
That's too much.
Sacramento poker. But I mean, as far as the area goes, like right now, I think for the most part, the bigger games we're seeing here. And a big part of it is because the games here play table stakes, you know, and even just some of the initial buy-ins are set higher. Where a lot of places will only allow you to buy in for 100 big blinds, this place will allow you to play deeper. The 1-3, when the game starts, you can come in for 5.
Yeah.
And the 2-5, you can come in for 1,000 to start. And then after that, it's table stakes. So games get big, they get deep, and they can play a lot bigger.
Okay. Originally it said Ace King folded to 160, but
Oh, it was called Deuces Wild. Oh.
yeah,
Deuces were not wild. That was the name of the
you were
room.
blown. I was like still thinking about that. Like, sure, let's buy in for $5,000 and just like throw it to the wind, like twos. Get dealt pocket twos. Like, yeah, I guess I'll take the nuts. Crazy.
That's definitely some of the games here do get crazy. Especially with Sean Drake on them, ladies and gentlemen. Sean Drake.
Jonathan.
Sean the bear wrestler. He just plays poker on the side. He does professional bear wrestling.
As a man would. I think that's where the money's really at. It's bear wrestling.
I love this guy. Where'd you find him, Roger? You were like sleeping on Twitch with like Cheetos on your chest,
Yep.
and like Roger texted you, and you woke up.
Oh my
and you're like,
gosh,
okay.
someone from the real world. Rushed out of my mom's basement. Had to put pants on, yep.
Scotty's gonna limp
All
in
the
here right in the
stereotypes.
hearts. Couple of limpers.
Simmer down here a little bit. Ace 9 suited. Scotty, play with that, please. Dominated by 10-8.
Ken's gonna check his options. And they
Super
will-
dominated.
Queen, Jack 3, couple of diamonds.
A 10 of diamonds. Do it. Alright, well you can't. 10 of hearts then.
Ken bets out 100.
go the other way.
Ken's got an inside straight draw. And he's got a flush draw. Ace of heart, or I'm sorry, wow, Ace of spades on the turn.
Oh, and there's the diamond.
Disco for Ken. The board does pair.
It says all in 2K.
I don't think that graphic's accurate. I think our graphic guys are calling an action that they wish they would see.
Was there tequila being thrown around in the back there?
I think they're egging on the guys like to play.
Chris,
Check on the river.
Chris said if you walk into a bar and you see Sean Drake fighting a bear, good God, you better help that bear.
Fair to say.
Oh, sometimes the chat's so good. It's
So-
nuts.
Ken checked his flush there on the river. The board did pair. I don't know if Ken was thinking of actually going for a check raise, or if he just thought because Scotty was the aggressor the whole time that he would put in another bet. Scotty did have no showdown value, so if he wanted to win the hand, he would have had to bluff at it. He would have got caught, but I'm a little bit surprised there because when that card comes, it's because the diamond got there, the ace paired again. It's so likely that that's going to go check on the river. I think Ken would have been much better off leading that river, even though, I mean, it's kind of obvious what you got. No? Yes,
I'm
no?
just laughing at our flannel shirt. Sorry. I'm picturing us
easily-
holding power tools.
Very different flannel too. I'm proud of us in that regard.
Yeah, we are plaid diversified.
I'm sorry. You were really going deep into some analysis there.
My bad. My bad. What's up, Jimmy Buffett?
She only had one bottle of gin too. It's
I
so
know,
weird.
right? Like,
Normally I have 2 or 3 before the show.
and she took it from a transient outside. It was really awkward to watch.
I punch them all the time on the way in. No, I'm just kidding. I only do that on Wednesday. Yeah,
It is a
it's
Wednesday.
Yeah, never
so you
mind.
did do that.
Oh goodness.
National Finals Rodeo. Yeah. We
That's us.
were calling National Finals Rodeo earlier today, so.
How hard could it be?
Right?
Guys ride horses.
Yeah.
Sometimes they fall off.
That's perfect.
Back to the action here.
Ace 5 suited.
Your wife proposed to you, didn't she?
No. She told me to hurry it up though. Sevens. It really has simmered down.
It'll pick back up again. You know,
yeah.
it gets usually crazy right after the live stream. I'll tell
I
you
like
that.
the ace,
It's
the
notorious.
8-2 raise we had earlier too. Someone was bluffing
That was Sean,
position.
yeah. So Rich is going to put in a raise here to 75 with the ace 4 of diamonds.
Sean puts in a 3
And
bet.
here goes Sean. We just talked about him. Sean re-raises
All right.
to 225 with a 4-6 off.
What do you do with your Ken?
You probably fold.
Yeah.
Yep.
You wait until his action to say.
Yeah, probably he's going to fold. Okay, yeah, probably fold. So, and Rich, I wouldn't be surprised to see Rich fold here either. Yeah, Rich folds. It's out of the way.
4-6. You show that, right?
Sean
When they pull it out, you're 4-6.
Yeah,
I'd show it.
Sean will act very upset. God, how I
Oh, no, you got a call from Rich.
Rich didn't make the call.
Drug the 5. Perfect.
Any number out there.
Not a good flop for 4-6. 4 turn.
I'd rather see 3s or 4s.
King 3 jack.
Oh, is that what that was? Okay.
Sean won the hand. We had like poker and like hyperspeed there for a moment.
Jimmy Buffett loves me, my billionaire. They should change my name from Veronica Brill to Billionaire.
You need to put a couple of tools in.
I called the 2 L's into Twitter. It won't let me fit it all in. My name's too long.
Gotcha.
That's why it's
You
a
have
1
issues.
L.
Your 4-letter last name's too long.
Billionaire.
Try to work with Rosensteel.
Axl
Is that your
Rose.
last name?
I have
That's awesome.
I have you down as
Great
Axl Rose.
Good for me, right?
Well, I never called her, but
Yeah.
you
Like,
did.
who makes phone calls anymore?
No, no one.
You probably make phone
Who
calls.
sends mail?
I
Nobody.
do. I really enjoy
The IRS does. You
romantic.
don't write letters and send
She
them.
like runs out to her mailbox every day, gets letters, picks up the phone, she's passport hanging off.
That's
of
the
it.
only way to contact
Yeah.
their home country.
My phone is pink. It's rotary dial.
That's
Messenger pigeons aren't what they used to be.
God. Yeah, this is the great
I wear
career
pink
pigeon
slippers,
epidemic
too.
of 2011. It just hasn't been the same. No. All right.
I got it.
Yeah, you were.
It hasn't been the same.
It hasn't.
Nothing this here. They say it's taken down.
That's why I don't fall for it. Give him a money for that.
We gotta get on Eric here and tell him that he's stacking so many chips so they can actually put his cards on the reader.
So, have you ever gone to the World Series of Poker and played?
It's my dream. Someday I want to.
Yeah. You were telling us earlier that a lot of gamers have transitioned over, and do you think they're more successful because of it?
I think a lot of the StarCraft people in particular are pretty good at the grinding aspect as well. They play multiple tables online. Online poker, though, in America at least, has been harder. I mean, as you guys I'm sure know, you got to kind of go through some back doors, and even then you're risking yourself a little bit. So
Jake really knows about back doors. Yeah, I get that.
very good. One of my friends, Dan Schreiber, has a bracelet for the Heads Up at World Series of Poker.
Oh,
Wow, nice. You
And
know
he's a big
so many
StarCraft pro.
people. You're not.
Well, there's
a
actually a lot.
like-
I'm really not name dropping. There's a lot of StarCraft guys that
And
do
there's
poker.
a lot of crossover. People that play gamers that play poker and vice versa. So Matt's gonna put in a raise here to 150 with Jack 10
Here we go.
offsuit.
Here we go. 4-5, get out of the way.
Scotty makes the call with his king queen out of the small blind, and Handsome George can make the call as well. 7-7. We have no slot machines here, but
And pocket eights feel bad here because they know if they're facing any other pair at all, they just got dumped on. But even though they're leading out, I mean, they're the better hand here, actually. Jack 10 is nowhere to be found.
but Matt's gonna keep the story up. Matt bets 240. And I think if you're Handsome George, wow, Handsome George folds. Just snap folds the pocket eights on the 7-7-7 board. I'm gonna get you out of position against one of the
Might have
better
had
players.
nine.
Any other pair?
Tens.
Any other pair?
Yeah, but
No
I mean,
chance.
Your opponent's also gonna have just 2 overcards there, or if your opponent's Sean, he's gonna have like 4, 6, or 8 deuce a lot of times. And I just think it's a little bit too passive to be just instantly check folding. I think you at least got to peel a card there, take a card off, see the way your opponent reacts to you calling, see the way and what he does on the turn. It's harder being out of position against a player like Matt.
Well, that's the thing. When you have a pocket pair, you've got to have a plan to play them, and it can't just be to fold
My plan is to
anything
flop
but
sets.
flopping a set.
Yeah.
I've heard, and obviously so much of poker is static, but a lot of times if you feel like you're not going to not necessarily chase it down, but if you're like, I need 1 card out of the entire deck on this call, it feels like that's a bad bet a lot of times, right? Like if you're like, I have
Mostly
8s and
always
7s,
a bad, yeah.
I'm hoping for an 8 to beat anything.
Yeah.
Anything, because if a jack comes out, you still think to yourself, well, they might have had king jack or ace jack.
That's where you need to incorporate some bluffs into your range, because you're not always going to make great hands, and sometimes you're going to have to bluff at it. And we've seen players like Sean be profitable because they've got a pretty good bluff range, or they know where they're at, and their opponent may not feel comfortable.
And when Sean has a real hand, he gets paid off
Yeah,
too. Because
big
people
time.
know that they see stuff like this, they go back and watch the stream, they see Sean raising with 8 deuce, 4, 6 off, and they get it mixed up in their head sometimes, and he's just barrel, that this guy, he can't have it, all the time. This is gonna be that one time that he doesn't. And they look him up, and sometimes, they're gonna find out quite often that they're wrong. I mean, players, there's no reason he's going to get dealt aces and kings just as often as any other player will. Sure. It's just that he's going to try to make more profit when he's got the 4-6 off.
When I grow up, I want to barrel like Jason.
Jason McRoberts.
Jason McRoberts.
That guy, yeah,
He's one of my favorites on our team.
absolute disregard for money. Scotty's going to put in a raise here, raise to 50, mix a min raise out of the cutoff. Handsome George is going to make the call out of the small blind with 6-7 of hearts. Rich makes a call, is going to great price at the big blind with any 2 cards, and that's what he's got.
Haven't seen Peter in a while. I kind of wonder if he's muscling up for a big move.
Waiting on his salad.
He's a little.
He plays better when he eats, and he knows it.
Breathing time.
6-7 suited option. Call it. There's the check. There we go.
Checks. There's checks. Check all the way over to Scotty, who's not going to put in the bet. Yeah, there he goes. Scotty's going to try to pick up the pot here. That's 220. No one has shown any sign of strength.
Should be a
All the
fold.
opponents, have checked 2 streets.
Fold across the board.
And Scotty's aggression is going to pay off. You got nothing.
So So you're gonna come down here and play sometimes now that you.
Oh yeah, I will.
It's a great place to play.
It's really nice.
Yeah, beautiful poker room.
There are screens everywhere. I was joking. I do have to watch my Seahawks at home, but otherwise I would be here. Great screens, great ambiance. I actually like that there's no smoke. I'm kind
I
of
love it. Yeah.
Yeah,
partial to that myself.
makes a big difference.
No judgment, but
Yeah,
it's my way.
Yeah.
And good food matters too. If you are sitting and you want to play for 10 hours, like you got to have a good meal.
And
Sammy's
food's
is-
great here. The food
Sammy's
is great. The service is
Got
great.
voted like top 5 restaurant.
Yeah, they just won something, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Handsome George, pick up aces.
There we go.
The problem with someone that's Handsome George's been
Jack
playing a
nine,
little snug, and now he's gonna put in this raise, and everyone's gonna have alarms going off.
Makes it 175 to go.
Yeah,
That's a big raise.
that is a
I
big
don't
raise,
think
even
there
with
was,
a
no.
$50.
Sean had the straddle on. Okay, so it's
Okay. And Sean's gonna give him look him up a little.
Sean calls a 9 deuce. I love it. Sean is a
Man.
6, and Sean floats a pair and a
Oh.
flush draw. Chips are gonna fly.
There's actually 2. The Jack 9 made it in here as well with that raise. Ace has still got to like that flop. You don't want another diamond on the turn, so he's got to be.
Definitely not.
That's
He's
325.
gonna bet 3 1/4.
Instant call.
Sean,
Oh no, never mind. I'm misreading.
Sean, I wouldn't be surprised here to put in a decent sized raise.
John's got to get out.
The only thing worries about is that George is playing pretty snug, and if he's betting that king, betting that board with the king on the hand, probably either got the king or has the king beat.
Yeah.
Sean's gonna hope to draw, draw
Wonder the
out on
sneaky
him.
flush.
Sean's thinking about what to do. I think Sean's gonna put some chips in. Sean makes a call. 3
And he
of diamonds
gets
on the turn, and
rewarded.
he gets there. Handsome George has no diamond.
And now all
Sean's
of a
gonna
sudden,
lead
Sean's
here.
got exactly because he doesn't want a 4th diamond with how low his flush is.
And he doesn't want, and he knows that with that card coming, if Handsome George doesn't have a diamond in his hand, he's probably going to check back. And if you're ever going to bluff that card, you have to bet it when you have it too. So
There are some players that you know that can't let go of pocket aces, a big pair,
A lot
and
of
ace
players
king
are
right now.
saying.
So he may be one of those players, and Sean might be taking advantage of that right
and this is
now.
what we talked about where with Sean, he's gonna rep a lot of cards, a lot of stuff that gets there. And so George might be thinking that, hey, this guy's just trying to represent a diamond here.
Yeah.
He might just have, pair of
he's
nines,
capable
pair
of
of
it.
kings.
Good
Yeah.
if he folds.
And he
George-
calls.
George calls.
I think Sean's going to get maximum.
Sean's gonna bet,
Value
and I
out of
think,
his
and I
hand.
think
That
George
4
is
is
gonna call.
fantastic because he says to himself, "How unlucky am I? Did he actually hit the flush?"
I don't think, yeah. I don't
Which is
think
the only
lead
thing that beats him
terrible.
other than trips.
I like Cali Donk says the lead is terrible. I don't think the lead is bad there. Just because if you check there and your opponent checks, he's likely going to check back a lot of times. And if you go for a check raise, you're pretty much telling him exactly what you got. And if you're ever going to bluff that card, you gotta bet it when you have it sometimes too.
He's short stack too. He needs. You can't risk a check there.
Unless you're only
So
ever
what is
going
that bet?
to check
I wanna see
raise
what
every
that bet
time there.
is.
That gets there. But then you're risking more chips when you are bluffing.
Did anyone see how much that bet was?
No, it doesn't say.
So it's
975.
So he's betting less than half the pot.
And I think George calls here.
And George,
Makes it pretty-
George is going to make the call
and
see the
Sean
bad
shows.
news. And he's going to be choked when he sees what he called with, deuce 9.
Yeah, well, at first he's gonna be like, damn, and then he's gonna think to himself, say, wait a second,
And
Yeah.
you raised 175 pre-flop and you called with 2-9
I'll
suited.
tell you though, a lot of times you want calls from these mediocre hands because you're going to
Well,
get
yeah.
paid off most of the time.
He's not. You're right, but that's not what he's saying right now.
Yeah.
He's not like.
thought it
Well,
was-
most of the time I really have.
Long term,
Long term, you
Sean's
want 9
gonna pay
deuce
him
or diamonds
off.
calling. Well,
gonna
yeah,
pay him
long
off.
term.
You're the life coach. You
Yeah.
gotta pull aside and be like, no, that's good. It means you'll get money from it
You can't
later.
be results orientated, right? Isn't that what you always tell me? I mean, you gotta look at it long term. He probably wants.
I like Cali Donk
His
says that you would check call the turn. So what do you do then? You lead the river, or do you try to check raise river? I mean, you're gonna.
I think Sean played it perfect.
Your opponent checks back on the turn, then you now have
Then
to
you
lead the river.
lose value on the turn.
You miss the street of value.
Yeah.
I like the 925 lead out, half the stack, like you said, or the pot, excuse me. So it's not too small where it's like obviously I want you to call. It's big enough that it could be a hand, but with aces you're feeling strong there. Not that he
And
necessarily knew
Handsome
that.
George pulling out more chips to reload. You can't play
And-
this game with $400 behind. You gotta have some cash. Now the stacks are getting big. Jason McRoberts enters the building, ladies and gentlemen. This is my favorite right here. This guy's a beast. All right, no one
And
else
then
knows
Caledon
him.
says
No, he's your
check
favorite.
the river. So you
Jake's
do
my
a
favorite.
check call and then check the river. So then it goes check on the river, and you lose Street of Value. And that's, in my opinion, I think that's what happens. If you check all the turn and then go to check the river again, I mean, unless you're positive your opponent's going to put in another bet there, and once you check all the diamond on the turn, I don't think your opponent's going to put a lot of money in on the river if you check back over to him too. Especially if he's getting any kind of showdown value.
Ace 9 suited, queens, ace 10 suited.
You're really good luck for our live stream, you know
Look
that?
at him.
You're getting so many
Everyone's
big hands
suited
since you've been
and
here.
awesome.
Jacks and queens and suited
So,
kings galore. Oh my.
Jacks? Did Ken put the straddle in his hand?
Look
at his hand.
I think so.
I think the straddle is on. So Ken's waiting in the straddle with queens. I love it. So Eric's
Handsome
gonna
He
Eric's
has
gonna
a
raise to
king
150.
queen.
Handsome George calls right behind him.
He's going to get some calls.
This game is starting to loosen up. Sean's actually
Sean's
got a hand.
Jacks in the small blind.
He actually has a hand. Ladies
And
and
this goes
gentlemen.
You know what? I'm going to call
Ken's
right now.
got queens.
Queens don't win this, by the
He
way.
has to raise here, otherwise his queens are going to be so marginal against everybody. He has
He's
to.
got to go like 500 all. Is that an actual all-in?
And he just rips it.
Right on! Rip it, baby!
Is it a real all-in?
I think he really did. He
I
really
think he
just shoved
really
there. And Sean gets rid of the jacks.
It's a crazy bet, but it's good at this table because I think none of these guys are playing pre-flop.
And he's
Let's
watching
do it.
what they're doing. He's
I'm
watching
really-
Sean play 3-9 or 2-9 or whatever it was.
We talked about this before, come up a couple times. Players limping out of position and then re-raising. It showed that Ken limped. I'm not sure if he limped or actually had a straddle in there with queens, but it goes back to it's the same thing. He limps. If he did limp, which the graphic showed that they did, and then he came back on top of the big re-raise, and he just showed everyone where he was at. And look how easily Sean got away from Jacks in that spot.
Yeah.
You know, conversely, where if he would have opened, and then Sean maybe puts in a 3-bet or something like that out of the small blind, then he comes back over the top or flats, then he can I think make more money that way.
Well, he also watched Sean run over aces, so he kind of wants premium hands to be against him. The problem is if you rip it right there, who's going to call you? Kings and aces. Right?
Yeah, Vern's counting on someone else was
And
slow
those
playing
snap
there.
calls too.
Yeah,
And aces.
aces
Oh.
snap call, and then
Yep, let's do
you're dominated. So it's
just-
kind of, it works up until it doesn't.
It's a tournament move, I feel like, and a cash game is
Yeah.
really scary. With that many people behind you, there's, I mean,
Although I think someone with aces would have
Would have saw that more action. The only player that you're really worried about having a big hand there is the first player that opened the pot. Because anyone else, for the most part, isn't going to be flatting aces and kings behind them. So the player you're really going to worry about and focus on is the first player that raised. Does that guy have ace? I mean, you can't always ever narrow down just because he raised.
Isn't the kind of scary thing with ace? I mean, how strong of a play is this where you do have aces or kings in that position, you do just call, hoping someone re-raises or something like that, and then you come back with the re-raise on top of that.
You
don't think they're waiting in the kings like that?
I don't like that. I've never liked that.
Okay.
I've never liked
Scotty's on
limping
the
and then
ace-10
coming back over the top. I think it's too old school to me, and you tell everyone where you're at in the hand, and
Yeah,
you lose.
you're like playing face up, basically, and Jake hates playing face up, even though he always does.
I like having super secret cards.
He's always everyone knows where he's at.
I am a rangeless animal,
Large mammal.
large mammal. That I am.
Peter's still waiting, by the way. I noticed you, Peter. I know you're going to strike like a viper. You wait. He's not been anywhere near this.
Well, someone pointed out here that the pot, by the time with all the players that opened and called, the pot was nearly like $500, and Ken only had 2,000 behind. I say only, but yeah, had about 2,000 behind. So
only in this game.
I still think you can maybe re-raise there without having to shove.
Reno Grinder's in the chat.
Maybe get someone with a worse hand to call you.
What's up, Reno Grinder? Come on down to our next 10-25 game.
Adam Bishop. He had a pretty profitable session. He didn't have much to work with as far as cards go, but I think he had a pretty profitable session in that last 5-10 game that he was.
And I think
here.
the game got pretty crazy after the live stream for him. He did pretty well after.
Scotty has a straddle here. Scotty straddles and wakes up with ace king. Sean puts in a raise to 150 with a 10-7 suited.
Scotty's got to put in a raise, and he's going for $100 chips, which is so beautiful. Oh, baby.
Makes it 550
And
to go.
Sean might just
650.
call. I can see Sean calling this.
No,
I know he's going to fold, but I'm saying he's capable.
he's capable, but
He'd like to lead out
he's
with that
smarter
in
than that.
Still at 1K. Lost 100 there in the blind.
I like how he donks is that no one donks a turn without 2 pair or better in a live game. Yeah, but that's where we go back to say, like, if you're ever going to bluff that card, if you're trying to get your opponent off a king, or in that case aces in that spot, you got to lead when you sometimes have it. You can't just be bluffing that card. You have to lead it when you have it, and you got to, you know, if you're ever going to bluff it, you can't just only be betting for value and never bluffing.
Yeah.
You gonna change careers? Come do professional poker commentary?
We'll see.
Let's continue here.
Start
You
at
can start StarCraft, everything. Poke your head up, take snazzy, go back to the grind.
That's right. Ace King, Ace 8 suited here. King 5 suited, if it doesn't get too out of hand, might make the flop.
Rich is going to raise to 150. John's right behind him. He makes a call with 8 suited clubs.
Scotty's got a big stack too. He's like, where's my salad? He folds.
Ace, King,
Queen 9
8.
made it in.
John has flopped himself 2 pair, top and bottom pair. Rich has top 2. Ken's got nothing.
Oh, this is gonna get ugly.
This is gonna get ugly, but so fantastic.
Rich bet 325, and it's a good bet.
And he thinks he's stealing from these guys right now. He thinks he's facing.
And John's just going to call with top and bottom pair.
I think he's betting for value here. I think it's not turning his hand into
Three
Diamond's good. If it's a heart, it could scare him off of it. Still 2 flushes possible here, obviously.
Rich wants to bet out a flush draw right now, I think. He's going to put in a nice
Or didn't
bet.
pair, so it doesn't scare off the 8 as well.
The pot's 1.1K. I think he's going to put in like 7 something. Let's see
Looks
what he
like
put in.
650. That is 650.
Wow, you just eyeballed
now,
that.
at some point, John, even though we know he has the worst hand, John needs to probably put in a little raise. At some point, if he thinks he has the best hand, and he thinks now Richard's bet, raise pre, bet the flop, bet the turn, John's got to know that Rich doesn't have air here. He's got some kind of a hand. He doesn't want him to have as good a hand as he has.
I bet he just calls. I bet he thinks he has the better hand.
He is Ace King's going through his mind. John might just call here.
Richard could be doing this with just an ace, you know, so he's thinking, okay, is my 2 pair good? It probably is. If I don't put in a raise, is the flush gonna hit? Does he have a flush draw? You know,
And they both players make aces full.
That's the worst.
This is gonna be blood.
So if Rich doesn't get a lot of chips from John right now, then I'll be shocked.
Oh,
Rich is
this
just
gonna be
thinking
trouble.
maximum value. Rich overbet the pot. Overbet, make it like 2.6, and you'll
You should make a big bet here.
He has the nuts,
make it
right?
look
There's no
bluffy.
better hand.
Make
There's
it
no
look
better.
really
Yeah,
bluffy.
no one can beat him. And John's in a lot of trouble. I think at this point, Rich is the only
This is
thing.
now the question of, can John get out of this?
No,
I know. I
never.
don't think John
no,
can.
The hand just is.
Is he
the only,
re-raise?
the only thing that Rich is,
He might,
the
yeah.
only thing Rich is
He
worried
knows
about.
Ace King exists, and that's a hint.
Rich is only worried that John missed a flush draw and won't pay him
And he's
off.
like, how is he betting this much? I've got a boat. Does he have? He can't have a better.
And is it literally only
can't
Ace
have
King
Ace
that
King.
beats him, by the way?
Yeah.
right?
Well,
Yes.
Yes.
right now with the hands that are dealt, yes.
Yes. Only
one hand.
only.
No, this board, his
Yes.
Ace 8 versus anything. I think
Yeah,
it's only
the
Ace
only
King
thing that he
beats him.
loses to is Ace King.
So can he put him on Ace King? Does he lose
To
his
put someone
mind?
on one hand is so. That's
It's hard. It's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does he lose his mind? And
Because Rich would probably bet this
Raise or ship?
Rich would probably bet this Ace Queen as well.
yes, 100% Rich is capable of doing this with Ace Queen.
if he only
Or
calls,
a
this
flush.
is a good move by
Rich
him.
could also
is what I
have
would
a
say.
flush.
If he only calls,
And
If
I've
he
seen
raises-
people only call. He has to raise here.
He bets 1-3.
don't say it, Veronica.
I raise here.
I didn't come here to watch a man die.
You came here for blood. And
I
you
did.
know.
I did.
And
I want
to
to
tell that.
Nope, just straight call.
Just a call.
Good by him.
Wow, you're so sick. How do you just call there?
Is he gonna show?
Oh man, that's so
Did he not show? We
brutal.
can't really
That's
see
a
it.
5K pot. That's a 5K pot.
Good on him to not I mean,
He's not losing
Oh,
his
he did
mind
show.
with second nuts. Second nuts just calls.
We saw it last week. A player river eights full of aces.
And just calls.
Who was Who had ace 9?
I'm trying to remember. I can't.
Frank.
And who had the...
And I can't remember who.
Peter, wasn't it Peter?
No. But yeah, player has ace 9 on ace, king 9. The other player has pocket 8s. River's an 8. So the guy River's 8's full of aces, and Frank's got aces full of 9s, and it's bet and just call. And the way the action was, there was I don't think it was
crazy.
Yeah, it was. I don't think it was. Even though yes, it was. He had the worst hand, but I don't think in the long term it was correct there to just call. I mean, it was a really small bet. The guy bet 45 on the river. And the guy with 8's full just raised. Didn't make it 145, clicked back, nothing. Just flatted with 8's full.
I lose my mind on that river because I know Rich is capable of having an ace queen there or diamonds.
That's pretty cool. That was a good play.
So back to this hand, Matt's got pocket queens. He makes it 75 to go.
What's going on?
Eric's got mystery cards as usual.
What's going on, Eddie? The new Eddie.
3-5-8.
Probably not better than
Matt
queens.
continuation bets, and Eric folds, and Matt takes down the pot.
Peter reloaded, it looks like. Up to 2.5K now. Against George, the bottom stack. Which is where he's been for the entire time, basically. Living on the edge.
They're having fun. I like this. I like this table. We got some new players in there. They're laughing. They're having fun. Sean's exposing his hair to the wilderness that is the poker room.
Oh, it was Bill. Frank's in the chat box. It was Bill who flatted. That's right, it was Frank and Bill. Frank bet 45 with aces full 9s last week, or Monday actually. See, I keep saying last week. And it was Bill. Bill flatted with 8's full.
Peter, get in that pot with that sexy hand. It's the winner. 3-5 diamonds, you watch. 10-7 suited is also almost twice as good.
You're a Daniel Negreanu fan, are you?
I am.
John makes it 150 to go
poker,
with his
man.
king queen. The 3-5 diamonds did not call.
We'll watch the flop though, guys. Alright?
3-5 would have got there.
Rich has chips
come
now.
on.
Oh, I thought you were calling Rich. You've got chips
Rich
now.
had to straddle.
Rich is like, I'm not giving you any of these chips.
And king queen takes down the pot.
$50 straddle, ladies and gentlemen, in Northern California. Come on down. There's money to be made.
And lost.
And lost.
I like Callie Dong says they didn't like the bet. I don't see. I would have rather see a large bet too there because anything you bet, if your opponent has an ace, he's going to call you. If he has anything else, he's going to fold, and that's it. So you can really, I mean, if he's got an ace, he's going to call anything, pretty much.
Exactly.
And
That's
so
why
you can really make go for. I mean, even if he's got a king, he's not calling after
any
he
bet.
keeps betting.
That was straddle, I think.
It's
no.
That's what I'm saying. Like
A
on the
larger
river,
bet-
he should
a
have
larger bet.
overbet the pot.
A larger bet for sure.
Bunch of
So
rags.
it's a straddled pot here.
Straddle's back on, and Peter makes it 175 to go. Peter has not been playing many hands. I have a hard time seeing him getting a lot of action tonight. Sean's gonna set mine here. He's gonna call with his pocket 5s.
I like it.
Deuce, deuce, 7.
I'm guessing Peter did not wait all night to raise pre-flop with 7 deuce.
No, probably not.
This is not his moment.
Now I wonder, Peter makes, it looks like 3 1/4 to go. 4 1/4, 3 1/4. 325 to call for Sean. I wonder if Peter has forgotten or can remember already Sean calling with a 9 deuce pre-flop. And if this 7 deuce deuce is going through his mind at all right now. No, Sean gets away. Peter's probably only has an overpair there.
Sean can get crafty, but he's not stupid. You know, he picks and chooses his slippery style.
Sure.
How do I describe him?
You're doing great.
Yeah? He rubs himself in Vaseline, rolls around in plastic, and then comes here.
Yeah, no, he's a degenerate gambler.
That is
an absolute disregard for
amazing
financial stability.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Middle-aged man just Vaselined up and saline. That's incredible.
Someone compliments our dealer. That's Jen dealing.
She's a gorgeous babe.
She's a great dealer. Jen really is. There's always, you know, in every card room, there's a couple dealers that really control the table, run the game well, they can pitch fast, they know Jen's one of the best.
The Catholic school teacher's my favorite with her ruler.
They're so dirty, so wrong.
She spanks them after too
Not
if
a
they're
good
bad.
person.
We got a
Sean's gonna put in the
raise.
raise here to 75 with a jack 7 of diamonds.
And we got a 3-bet.
Peter makes a call with his pocket 4s.
Oh, I thought he
And
was...
Eric
Eric.
has now woke up with the almighty jack 9 offsuit and has put in a 3-bet to 250. Sean's not calling.
There are wheels spinning. The hamster is working hard right now and is folding.
And what is Peter going to do with his 4s?
Muck fast.
There it is.
He's been having a tough time getting hands.
And Eric's like, that's how I win.
And that's
He
one of the
finally
things,
figured it out.
So part of it is, when you're card dead, you also start to establish yourself a tighter image. You don't have many hands. And so you can do things like 3-bet, you know,
Oh,
the
and
jack 9 off.
they're all drinking wine. Wine Wednesday, half bottles of wine, by the way. Sorry, I thought I...
We're in here drinking water.
I know, and we're drinking water.
Hold down the 4. I'll be right back.
I don't even. What would happen to Veronica if she had any more anything?
I never had anything.
Yeah,
That's why I said anything. It had something.
I'd be dancing on one of the tables for $5 chips.
They don't do that here.
Oh, yes, they do.
You wait till the stream ends. Ken's gonna put in a raise here to 75 with the ace-jack offsuit. We know Sean's gonna call in the big blind. He's got two shinies. He's calling.
$9.
Right, that's what it felt like.
Makes it more fun.
Queen 9-3.
Oh,
Sean flops himself a gut shot.
Ken's backdoor to a gut shot.
150
That was
goes
for
in for
you,
both
Jake.
players on the flop. 6 of clubs doesn't help anybody. Check, check. River's a king, and Sean has found himself the best hand.
And it represents itself as the best hand, too. He doesn't even know that he dodged a pretty big bullet there. Not that the pot's getting out of hand or anything like that, but...
No more money goes in, and Sean's happy to take down the pot.
Richard on top.
Rich is had a good night.
8.2K, wow.
That full house over full house hand helped. And it's sick to think that he could have even got more value there.
I was just gonna say, like,
If Rich would have known that he had a full house there, I mean, I think maybe just hoping that John had diamonds that got there, or maybe a king.
look at those guys enjoying Wine Wednesday. Oh, and Rich too. Rich's wife is probably here playing some 510 also.
Matt Holzclaw's wearing his Sacramento Kings beanie. It's a beanie.
It's a toque.
Supporting local sports. Love that.
Might as well for as long as you have them, right? Yeah. Wasn't there talking of
Sadness.
kings?
Yeah.
King, queen suited.
Erickson put in a raise here to 150.
10 kings suited. And a jack 10 off.
Rich has chips to play with now, and he's like just.
Oh, and Rich is snugging up.
Oh, yeah, what's going on, Rich?
Wow,
Have
that
another
is a
glass
gear
of
we have
wine.
not seen out of Rich.
Yeah, this is.
Rich found his fold button.
Rich is changing
that
gears. He's going down second gear for a little
A
while.
lot of action with this flop.
Right? 7-4-4, no help for
Let
anybody.
them know you're being sarcastic. They may not get that.
Yeah.
Well, actually, it helps me because I do say some incredibly wrong things. So if I keep saying wrong things all the time,
That's what I say. I'm just being sarcastic when I call out the wrong action. Yeah, just
Joking.
being
So
sarcastic.
Eric puts in a continuation bet and takes down the 5. ABC poker. I believe that last hand was straddled, I think, by Scotty. Let's see if the players are
Jake
actually
enjoys
straddling.
straddling.
who doesn't though?
Wink, wink, nudge,
Right.
nudge.
He said missionary earlier. I mean, it's got them
You
straddled.
guys have dirty minds.
I don't get it.
I was talking about poker.
I don't get it.
You're the one that visually wrapped one of these guys in saline after oiling him up.
I said Vaseline, baby, not
Oh, yeah, never
saline.
mind. That's like totally
Talking to
clean
a
there.
nurse now. I know the
Absolutely
difference.
No straddle this hand.
I've had to rub his back before outside the casino. Anyway,
I believe
it's a
it.
long story.
Just got to make money, however you can. Thank God it was his back, right?
And there's the Rich we know and love. Rich is going to make it 75 to go with a 5-6 offsuit. John's going to make the call right behind him with Jack 10 off.
John's like trying to get his money back right now.
I got Ken. Ken's my dog. 5-8
Matt calls
suited.
pocket nines.
Do it. Do a cheeky call for no reason at
Matt
all.
makes it. I'm sorry. Matt makes it 285 to go with his nines.
Watch
Wow.
5-8 suited clubs.
Just like bludgeoning the table.
John's going to make the call. I don't necessarily want to say that John's steaming a little bit, but I think that.
That John's steaming.
But John's going to make the call here.
Now think about
Ace four
5-8
jack.
of clubs and how sitting pretty it would be right here.
Absolutely. Matt's going to continuation bet.
If I were John, I'd be like, you know what, jerk? If you flopped an ace, good for you, but I'm raising you. Because I'd be steaming mad after that last
Matt bets
hand.
340.
Don't
John-
just call. You
yeah.
can't just call here.
Oh, I think you can.
Yeah, you can.
That escalated quickly.
John adds a straight draw to go with his pair of jacks, which is currently in the lead.
He's having a tough time though. I mean, he does just have
Matt checks it over to him.
middle-ish pair. 2 overcards,
Yeah.
and with only a gut shot. He's not open-ended.
He's got to continue with this. He's got to bet. He's got to be aggressive. He's not going to win
And
this
it's
time.
gonna take down the pot.
Nice bet.
Yeah,
nice
the
bet,
bet's
John.
good. Because he does have an out if he's dominated.
It's always important to have an out when you're bluffing.
Yes.
Which essentially he turned his hand into a bluff.
I dry bluffed the out of stuff. No, nothing. No dry bluffing. You don't ever dry bluff. I dry
She's the
bluff.
dirty one.
So when I'm bluffing, I like to have oots.
Oots. I'm usually the guy who gets caught repping quads into quads, or repping top full into quads. That's kind of my thing.
kindred
When he's all
That
in.
just always happens to me.
Yeah. Like,
I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I'm being so cheeky
how does
right
it not put me
now.
on full house right around?
Fire another bullet. Guy's just straight calling or re-raising, and I'm not getting the message.
He's calling me with nothing. I got to punish him on the river with his quads.
The worst feeling is firing that final bullet on the river, and they could not call you faster. Like,
Yeah.
all in, call. Yeah, and you're like, oh, I just lost easily.
Oh, you're talking about my tournaments now, right?
It's my life. It's my poker life. I was once told that Queen 7 is statistically the most average hand in poker.
It's a computer hand, yeah. It is versus every. It's like dead smack dab in the middle.
In many ways, I feel like it describes me. In poker. Veronica, almost every live player has a turn barrel leak. I don't even know what that means.
Maybe he's just talking about how
He's
bad
advocating
my-
barely in the turn. Not enough players do it, or they do it in the wrong spot. So Scotty
One
got
to
a
the flush.
draw.
Nope.
Peter's
Gonna
got
bring
the best
action
hand of pair
commentary to
threes.
poker.
I love it.
Scotty's still going.
He's got a. I mean, he's sitting well. Scotty is. He's got a flush draw. He's got a gut shot. No pair.
And Peter, it's probably would be good to make Peter fold. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kelly Dog, that's a good point. You can flat without making the pots too big with mediocre hands. But if you can, it depends on the player you're against. If you can get them off a hand, if you can get them off like top pair, there's a lot of players that can fold top pair, and
You're not one of them.
no, I can fold top pair. I just can't fold air. Against you, I'm never folding top pair.
Yeah, I found that out, like the hard way.
Queen 10 suited, ace king.
You're a calling station.
We still haven't found what our bet is going to be, and I think I figured it out. I think I figured out like who
Yeah?
makes the most comparatively if we play the same events. We've got
Yeah.
a little bet going.
One of my favorite bets I heard of between two of the bigger poker pros. It wasn't even really a bet. It was actually it was kind of a bet. It was a guy had to get breast implants
Yep.
I was
for
going
1
to
year.
say, Jake, you get breast implants. No, I know.
Very
I
confusing
know what
for
it's
his
going to be. And he had to have them for a year, right? Yeah.
Actually, if you got breast implants, you'd have to get like penis implants or something like that.
Never. So I think that the loser has to wear a shirt. Like I want you to wear a shirt that says Veronica's the best and have my picture on it. Like
No,
this.
I wanted to bet money.
No, it's something stronger than money.
Notice how she like
Pride.
fades.
Like I want to reduce your pride. I want to reduce your manliness.
I'm gonna
and your
booth with you twice a week. How much?
I want you
have
to wear a
thought
shirt
about?
for like 7 tournaments straight next year.
Queen
saying
Jack
Veronica's
7.
the best. That's all.
So Handsome George opened here. Richard put in a 3-bet. Handsome George called a 3-bet.
Richard's got a gut shot. He's not going to go anywhere.
2 overs and a gut shot.
The gut shot.
And Handsome George check folds Ace Jack like it's nothing.
Yeah, it's interesting.
And he doesn't have position. It's hard. It's hard. Life's hard with Ace Jack.
If you're, I don't know.
What would you have done?
He barrels 3 streets.
With Ace Jack?
Probably call. I'm calling at least once.
Middle pair?
I'm calling at least once.
What do
If
you
you're, if you're folding every time your hand doesn't hit, people are going to pick up on that.
Yeah.
And they're gonna
Do
exploit
we feel like
you.
he's doing that? Handsome Jack's folding every time?
Handsome George, yeah. I think he's folding a little bit.
He's snug, and so people are going to exploit that.
They'll just push him around a little bit.
Yeah. So
People are gonna-
if he
yeah, they're
fired
gonna-
back, if he pushed back, he might have won that pot. But I mean, it depends. You got to pick your battles. You got to have some oots.
The Canadian.
And the Ash for the biggest winner. The biggest winner so far, I believe, is Rich. Correct?
Yeah, from that boat over boat.
Yeah.
Man, that was...
Yeah, Rich
It's
played
funny,
a 5K
it's either
pot.
an incredible play or a dumb play, right? But we're just being optimistic.
We usually are.
Just calling with second nuts, putting a person on... I mean, it is Ace-King, which is
It's
more likely.
incredibly nitty, or he knew exactly put him on Ace King. If he put him on Ace King, though, he should have folded. If he said, I know he's got Ace King, he should have folded. I always say that. If you knew
That's an
you were
Agranyu
beat,
moment, man. That'd be so sick.
It's just.
if you knew you were beat, why didn't you fold? Why do you just call there? If you don't put him on Ace King, then you have to raise there.
And that's actually kind of what I'm siding with, because it's 1.3 to know that you... Like, if you believe you lost and you're putting 1.3 out there anyways, that's a leaky ship.
Yeah.
If he calls there and Rich rolls over Ace Queen, Ace Jack, and then you feel like you feel sick to your stomach, God, he might have called the raise.
Yeah.
You know, he's just like.
Ace 3.
And then if your opponent shoves after if you stick a raise, and then your opponent shoves, then you can confidently fold.
Yeah.
Sure, you cost yourself a little bit more, but I think long term you probably your full house over full house is going to be less. That's going to be less or happen less often in that spot than you are going to have a vote over your opponent's trip aces.
There's something to be said for that, though. There is a logic to the idea of, like, there is a price to what I will go for. Like, if he does raise and he knows that he would fold to an all-in, which is a very common play in that situation, I feel, then I guess you don't have a responsibility you wouldn't do that. You wouldn't raise because you know you're not going to turn the all-in.
Yeah.
If you want to get the showdown, yeah.
Yeah.
Ken puts in another big bet here pre-flop. Makes it 250 to go with his queens. We saw him put in a big raise earlier with his queens. Ken is very much not in the mood to be playing flops with pocket queens right now.
That's a great bet, though, because there's some good hands out there, and if they would have just limped in, there's a lot of stuff catching. Good catch, rather.
Now that you're in here in front of viewers, are you going to follow me on Twitter?
Will you follow me on Twitter?
Yeah?
Okay.
Don't follow him. No one cares. No one follows him.
That's not true, Jake.
Thank you.
Follow me on Twitter. I like having big name people follow me.
We have a dealer change.
Woo! There we are. Let's get out our power tools. Saw some stuff.
Your jokes are so funny and wholesome.
This guy's the best.
It really is. Someone says food is a good thing.
Yeah, they can't talk about that. We can't eat on camera, so
I know.
French fries.
Don't talk about food.
French fries are never
And the
bad.
wine is good too. Yeah, half price wine Wednesday, or was it?
Half price bottles of wine.
That sounds like a. That can't be right. There has to be some. There has to be some fine print there.
No.
A limit of one to each person. There has to be some quick read.
I'm sure we've got some great Napa wines
That
here.
was the coolest hand. I agree. Poker bum. Like I think you actually might be talking about a different hand, but I really like that full house over full house hand. Like the analysis and depth of what happened there is pretty cool.
And we actually have Rich in the chat box who had the ace king. And Rich explains what he was thinking here. He says, what happens if he had his queen? He would not have called with his big bet. I think he would have, Rich. I really think he would have.
I think he calls.
he doesn't love it, but I think he's gonna call.
Oh, that
is
so.
rich.
And actually, there's another question: is this live recorded? It is live, but it's 30 minutes behind to protect. And as you can see, there is a player actually in the game listening to us.
Yeah, watching the 30-minute delay
why not?
broadcast. Yeah, finding out what his opponent's had and all those hands.
I wish Rich would have answered if it's Dick or not, though. That would have actually really helped me. A lot of Richards go by Dick, you know that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Interesting. A lot of Jeffs go by nothing else.
Some Veronicas go by Ron.
Do people ever call you G-off, and how bad,
Oh, yeah.
and how bad does that annoy you?
Not at all. I mean, when I was a kid, it used to be like, that was, you know, they're like, G-off, and I'm like, that's not my name. But as you get older, you don't give a shit.
Yeah.
But when people are always like, what's your name? I don't say, or like, you know, over the phone, they're like, what's your name? I don't say Jeff, because it'll always be J-E-F-F. I say G-E-O-F-F. 100%. That's my only struggle.
Jimmy Buffett has a stone.
Well,
Slots. No, we have no
my
slots
cross
here.
to
We
bear.
are
It's
a
not
card room. And there, yeah.
17 tables of poker, 17 tables of
No
blackjack,
smoke, no
pie
slots.
no slots.
And you guys do your show, you said twice a week?
Mondays and Wednesdays.
There you go. You guys should all tune in every time. I watch a lot of poker on Twitch, and I think this is one of the better ones. You guys are awesome.
Of course, obviously, we're
It's
the
a really
best.
cool program, too. Great job by Mr. Bailey and everybody. Tech guys behind us.
Best looking announcers out there. I mean, well,
Yeah.
I'm talking about me.
At least for the female demographic, I think especially.
I mean, Jake's just barely hanging on average, but, you know, we'll keep him.
Gotta make up for that with my,
Jake tests really well in the bear community, actually.
Yeah, yeah. You should see his legs.
Did we just trouser bounce me?
A little bit.
What is this terminology, and where does it get applied?
It's from bush country.
Oh my god.
Matt's gonna put in a raise here to 75 with ace-jack offsuit. Ken's gonna make the call with 7-9 of hearts. Action's gonna fold back around.
Six shack suited,
John.
7-9 suited.
John's gonna make the call with ace-deuce of hearts.
John's starting to want his chips back. He's a little tilty right now with this call.
King-jack-8.
Nobody's a winner with this one. Except for Matt.
Matt's got the best hand with middle pair. Good kicker.
Checked around to Matt.
Ken's got an inside straight draw. He would finish straight with a 10.
Matt's putting in a bet.
So Matt bets 180.
New Ken looks at his cards to see if he's still got something.
And Ken gets out of the way.
Ken has a flip phone. Just wanted to verify that.
Wow.
And it's 2016.
John's out of the way. Sean's got a pair of jacks as well. But he's out of position against Matt, and I don't see him calling that.
Now we've even up. A couple guys have reloaded. I think Handsome George reloaded as well a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yes, he did. After that 9 deuce hand that Sean had, where he paid off Sean's flush with his pocket aces, couldn't fold the aces and paid for it dearly.
Do you receive?
Bitches.
Sean Drake, ladies and gentlemen.
That was horrifying.
Does that flip phone receive text messages? You think? Is that a Razr? Nokia Razr? Motorola?
Are you judging a person's phone?
So proof that we're on the 30-minute delay, you'll see Sean in the stream, and then he just popped in the booth here on his way out of town.
He's like such a man of the earth. Like no filter. Just like says whatever's on his mind, does whatever he wants.
Handsome George raises the 150 with his pocket queens. Ken's found the 7-9 of hearts again.
150 is kind of the baseline for these guys.
I think when the straddle's in, then yeah, most players are just making it 3x. And
Like a good hooker, they're always paying 150.
She wrote that joke like an hour ago.
I gotta throw in the.
she pulls out his like bar napkin.
waiting
She's got
for
all-
someone to mention
all her
150.
material.
No, there it is. Like a good hooker.
I don't need two of you going at me all night.
Another
One is
hooker joke.
enough. One
Another
is enough.
hooker joke. Oh my god.
Wow.
Unless I'm getting a good tip out of this.
Another. God.
All right, clean it up.
I'm easy,
Clean
but
it
I'm
up,
not
bro.
cheap.
Clean it up, bro. The worst.
What I like about those kind of jokes, though, is that it could be that you're not joking and that other people are the ones with the dirty mind.
It's a good way to kind of
Oh, he's
feel out
like
your audience.
leveling our audience.
Yeah.
Wow. They're all
like-
like right now. They're like,
I know.
mind's blown.
Am I the problem?
It's never me.
And then you're just like Matrix.
So I can't tell if Peter put in the. Let's
You took
say,
the red pill a few years ago, didn't you?
no straddle in this hand. Bunch of limpers. No one has any sense of adventure.
There's the 6. This is the best feeling on planet Earth.
And Peter flopped himself middle set.
2 spades though.
Board did come down all spades.
But you can't act too strong, right? Because you don't want spades, but at the same time, you don't want to chase everyone off on this flop.
But-
Oh, it's 3 spades. Never
3
mind.
spades.
Act strong.
Scotty's not going to lose his mind here with a top
Fortunately,
pair.
no one has a spade.
Isn't
Scotty's
that
got
crazy?
top pair.
5 people in that, and no one's got a spade.
And
And the other
Scotty puts
6,
in a
by the
raise.
way, the other 6 is actually taken up here.
Whenever you need to play style, you let me know. I got it.
Scotty put in a raise that looks like 180.
Peter's going to reluctantly call. Well, maybe re-raise.
Peter calls off.
No.
180.
That's a string call, Peter.
And he's so sad.
And action killer spade comes. Scotty
know it.
makes 2 pairs.
I hope Peter does not check. Oh, Peter! Don't check.
He'll fold any raise here.
Yeah, anything. Oh, they both check.
Check. Neither player has.
I would have bet out if I was Peter because you still have equity. The board could still pair on the river. And you could represent.
Good bet by
flush.
Peter. What was it?
Oh, and look,
I see you, Ryan.
500?
everything beats you. Everything beats you, Scotty.
Peter bets 250. It's
Scotty's
not a little
folding.
blocker bet. Scotty's gonna fold his 2 pair. Good fold by Scotty.
Thank you, Ryan. 000714.
And Peter shows the 6 of hearts. Oh, Peter, that was cool. Is that our buddy Ryan Graham
I
in
don't
the chat
know.
box?
I cannot verify it.
Feeding you compliments.
Why not?
It's a fair question.
He's got a point.
Yeah, I got nothing. All right.
Let's see how many aces and queens we get in this hand.
No. Bunch of ragamaroo here.
Matt's on the button.
Kangaroo.
Action folds
From
over
Nova
to Sean.
Scotia.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, after a win out
There
of
we go.
Wisconsin over here.
Handsome George makes it 75 to go with his pocket kings. Sean makes the call. He's in bad shape. He's got king queen offsuit. Peter wakes up with king jack, case king, and it's out of the way.
There's kings.
Deuce tray 6. George already got mixed up in a hand with Sean where he had a big pocket pair, and Sean had junk. And this is a very junky flop.
I really hope it doesn't
And-
stop him from playing optimally.
Sean would love to do nothing more than like ruin his day. And Sean's gonna float. Calls 125. 9 of diamonds. Sean picks up his diamond draw. If this backdoors a lot of diamonds, Sean and George might not be
Oh, I
friends
know
anymore.
he's checking.
Handsome George diamonds get there. Checks over to Sean, and Sean's gonna bet 225. And you know that hand from earlier is going through George's mind right now.
Yeah. And he's like, can he do this
massages
to me
his
again?
chips.
Can he do this to me again? This kid is ruining my life and my day.
Don't do it.
I just wanted to come here and just drink some wine and play some poker, and now this kid's ruining my
He
night.
calls.
Doesn't get there.
Now if Sean makes out a big bet again. You could tell how much George did not like calling that turn bet. And there goes Sean.
And I think he's going to, he's in
Pretty
check call
confidently.
mode. I think he's in check call mode.
475.
He can't fold.
And he's really thinking, did Sean really he folds.
Oh my
He check
gosh. The power of position and the power of aggression.
And that's 2 to a flush, and the board was not impressive. Like, he only puts him on a set or he puts him on the flush to beat his hand, basically. Maybe
But like I said, I
aces.
think that history there where he couldn't fold his aces against Sean, it was like I said, it was a junky board. The diamonds got there again, and George decided this
He
time
leveled himself into folding.
I'm not gonna call off bad this time. And timing's everything, and unfortunately, timing's been good for Sean tonight and not been very good for George.
Interesting. And that's
now I understand Sean's comment when he came back in here and gave a shout out to all his fans.
Yeah.
Because he's a
In the
sick
most
human
pleasant
being.
way possible.
I actually really like his bet too. It wasn't too heavy-handed.
It looks like a value bet. It looks like a value bet. If he had a flush there, Sean makes the same size
But he
bet.
reached for chips really quick too, and like knew what he was going to play on that
if
river.
that previous hand hadn't happened, Handsome George would have called.
Yes. Also, and Sean's encouragement there, because you saw how much hesitation that George, and it was genuine. He wasn't acting. He wasn't Hollywooding. You know, oh my God, what to do, and then I raise, and you kind of think.
Yeah.
George was genuinely distraught on the turn. Did not want to call. Reluctantly made the call on turn, and when he checks the river, Sean knows all he's got to do is stick in a good sized bet there, and the river could not have helped George whatsoever, and it was pretty ABC after that.
I enjoy longer sessions of poker like this because you can see those dynamics occurring at the table. Where I feel like Sean knows that he played that entire hand towards it as well.
Yeah.
He wasn't counting on runner flush. That's not what he's playing to. He was just playing against his opponent. It's really good.
He had position, and once his opponent showed weakness, he capitalized on it. Ken's backdoored clubs here. Had the best hand with his jack kicker as it was, but flushed out just in case.
Not a bad way to seal the deal.
Kind of like not as good as the Frank Lindsay hand that we saw where he flopped an open-ended straight flush draw and backdoored sixes full. The board was 5-5-3 with the 3-5 of clubs. Frank had the 6-4 of clubs for an open-ended straight flush draw. A player had ace-5. Other player had queens. Was it queens? Yes. Casey had queens.
So yeah,
And
Casey paid him
turns
off
to
with
6,
queens.
giving Frank a pair and an open-ended straight flush draw. Rivers another 6, giving Frank 6s full.
Man.
And then ace-5 goes down the toilet. Casey's queens are no good.
And Casey
Life
paid him
is
off with
good.
the queens.
Yeah. Runner, full house.
And Casey knew better. He talked to us after about that
And I think
hand.
he made the comment in the stream, I missed. I missed my straight flush. So John's gonna limp in here with the ace-7 offsuit. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say that, you know, if I'm tilting, like if I was Handsome George in that hand, I probably would get up and just either cash out or take a walk, because if you're not playing optimally in every hand, and that's the dynamic of the game changes so much with the history of hands you have with people, and you're like, man, he's getting so lucky against me, and it can really put you on tilt, and it makes you make bad decisions.
I almost wonder too, like if some of you guys will sit here longer because this is a once-a-month game. This is a bigger game. The opportunity to win more money is now. So cashing out and be like, well, I've had a rough night, is something a lot of them look at this and say, I can't do.
Yeah,
but yeah,
it's true.
You lose big in this game, and you're not going to get another opportunity. It's not like you can grind this game out for the next couple days or couple weeks, month, and get it back. It's kind of you got your shot now. So if you're going to get it back, it's going to be hard to get this money back if George gets stuck a couple grand. It's going to be harder to get that back grinding out 2-5 or 5-5. Yes. And so it's
also going to be hard to get it back if he plays scared.
Yes.
Good check.
So he's going to have to like snap out of it. And
sometimes you can, I mean, it's hard to say this, but you can use it at dynamic too. If he gets in a hand with Sean, and Sean tries to bully him around, he actually has a hand, but he's playing meat.
And he did have a hand. Yeah. And, that board I think was fine for kings. And you know what? I would have said, you know, if you got it again, you got it. But I would have called him on that river.
I think so too. There's only Jack out there and 3 diamonds. I mean, well, no, I'm just saying, like, it's very specific hands that would beat him.
Yeah, losing to a set, losing to a flush.
There are those nights where that one player.
The 4-5 would have flopped, which is within Sean's range.
He wasn't firing hard bullets.
There are those nights where that one player's always got your number, always is beating you, and it can get incredibly frustrating. Sometimes you just gotta get up, cool off, walk it off, and play optimally.
For me, it was last year was during the WPT was McCall Pahuja, but then again, he's got a lot of people's numbers, so I don't feel so bad.
Yeah. I've had people own my soul before, like boat over boat and destroy my will to live, and I cry in the fetal position in the shower when I get home, sucking my thumb.
Go, man. 7.
It happens. Well, I usually cry like that on a normal
Yeah.
Saturday night, but
Yeah.
If you're gonna cry, go all in on it. Just leak it out over a course of time.
I think we're doing something right. That's right.
they said Casey Manning is good because he knows he's Veronica's favorite. Actually, Jason and Kyle, my honey badger, are my favorite. Casey's in the trifecta, definitely.
The unholy trinity.
The unholy trinity.
Is it part of your jam?
But Kyle is my honey badger. Kyle kind of looks like a young version of my husband.
He does.
Maybe that's why
That's probably
I
why.
favor him also.
He does when we were
Thank God your husband doesn't watch this.
No, he
He
does.
does.
My husband's got a great sense of humor.
He
Don't
does.
worry.
Remember when your husband?
But he married
Yeah.
me, but he didn't.
When your husband showed up the other day and like walked around like, what's Kyle doing up in the game? And
An older version of Kyle.
God, he's aged well.
Back action hands here a little bit.
There we go.
It doesn't get too raisy. No, it just got raised.
John puts in a raise and takes down the pot.
Jesus, it's like 180 degrees in here ever since
is.
you got here. Why'd we all wear a
And
flannel? We
Magma
should have
Man.
wore our tank tops.
We're also enclosed in the penalty box here
With
so-
lights.
With lights.
The lights are actually deceiving. That's what does it.
You guys are wearing your bras. We could do a bra party.
Nice.
Yeah, cool off a little bit.
I wore some fancy chonies tonight.
You go first. You wear the lacy stuff, the good stuff?
Oh, the lacy stuff, yeah.
Tonight's a marital night.
That's right. Anyone's worth
Do
doing
our
right.
duties.
Matt's gonna raise a 75 here with Ace King offsuit.
7 King suited, John. Get in there. You know it's good.
And here comes Handsome George, looking to get unstuck. Taking the call with a Jack 10
10's
off.
going to call with
Yeah.
75.
And
With 2 other people in the pocket, like it's just too good of
John
a
defends his big line. 3-way action.
and does not get rewarded.
Deuce 3 queen.
spades.
All spades. Matt's got the ace of spades. He was the pre-flop raiser. We know he's going to bet, and it's probably going to be good to take down the pot. Handsome George is the only one with a spade. No one else has a pair. Looks pretty C-bet fold to me. Matt bets 125. Handsome George is gonna play a spade.
Yeah, and that's if there's a turn spade, turn 10 spade.
Turns a 10. Handsome George has now picked up a pair. Matt's got a gut shot straight draw now to go with his nut flush draw.
And heart.
And he's betting. And we've seen Handsome George be willing to fold tonight. So,
He's gonna call it.
oh, he's cutting out a raise.
Oh,
Here's a gear.
we have not seen this gear before. There we go. There we go.
With just a middle pair, 1 to a.
Gets
Oh,
away from it.
wow.
Wow.
And he had a gut shot.
Well
with 2
played,
overs. He had
Handsome
1 to the nut
George.
flush.
Makes it 950 to go and gonna take it down.
Well played, Handsome George. He's
He didn't want to chase
it.
it. The raise won the
So the
hand.
problem is, if you look at his stack size, George put in most of his stack. He put in, it looks like 2/3, if not 3/4 of his stack. And
Basically
Matt's
setting
not,
up for an all-in
Matt's
on the
not
river.
getting the implied odds there to chase a spade in. If
Yeah.
he calls off there, if he one thing, both players still have like another 5K behind them, and Matt feels like, hey, if I bink a spade here, George is really his full button's broken. It's gonna pay me off. But we've seen George playing kind of snug, makes him kind of tighter folds than what he was able to fold aces. He folded kings. Oh, I'm sorry, no, he called off aces, but he just folded kings, and he doesn't have the implied odds to call.
Why are you calling him just George? His name is
Handsome George.
Thank you.
And not handsome.
Give the man his
handsome.
respect. Handsome.
Handsome.
Who knows what that even means? And actually,
Right.
now they've correctly spelled
Yeah, handsome, but
Oh,
the
my.
E is missing still.
it.
but-
Handsome.
They added the D though. What does that
Yeah.
mean?
Handsome.
John's gonna make a raise to 85
Classic
here.
matchup. Classic matchup. And that's a beautiful flop for 10-9.
Good flop for Ken. Flop's open-ended. He's got a backdoor clubs. John's gonna lead out with his ace king. Continuation bets are usually pretty good to take down most pots.
110
Heads
only.
up.
It's only 110.
110.
Easiest call of his life.
Ken's calling. Ken turns a pair. Gives John an inside straight draw. Not too dissimilar from the last hand we just saw.
Queen would be disastrous.
John fires again. 160, Ken calls. Jack of diamonds. If John's got it in him to make another bet here, I think, nope, he checks back. And Ken, that's 300. Ken I'm not sure if Ken thinks he's value betting or if he's kind of turning his hand well, if he's merging. He thinks
It looks like a value bet. I mean, into a 1K pot.
it really does. That's a really good bet by Ken. I mean, he didn't get called, but that is a really good spot to recognize that he did have the best hand and make a reasonable sized bet that could get called.
And he gets checked into, so I mean, it always looks weak.
Yeah.
Checked, so.
It's a very good value bet by Ken.
Value bluffing.
Thank you, Fomorian.
Value bluffing. Merchant.
Merchant.
That looked more like a straight value bet.
But nothing to dance with. Maybe an ace-9, ace-10. That's where I get excited.
So Scotty's looks like he's gonna put in a raise there with his king-queen offsuit. Eric does not call ace-9, and here's Handsome George, ace-10. Handsome George is opening up a little bit.
And he's gaining some momentum here. So.
Heads up. Jack-4 deuce. Couple of hearts. Both players have a heart. Ken's got the best one, of course.
And whoever
Turns an
wins.
There's this. But also,
Scotty does pick up
a gut shot.
picks up an inside straight draw.
I feel like I'm watching a Omaha game. Everyone's picking
not
up a
gut shot.
draw.
Everyone, yeah. Omaha. That's French for more cards.
I believe it.
Sure, why
I don't
not?
speak French.
Yeah.
Ne pas parlez-vous français?
She
doesn't either.
Yeah, no, she agrees.
That was dirty.
Yeah.
Spanish, I think.
No, I do say dirty things in French, but that wasn't it. Like croissant.
Then the pregnant silence afterwards.
Yeah.
Speculations that we're all reflecting upon that.
That's why it's hot here. You guys are
Anyways.
thinking a lot.
That's right.
Jimmy Bluffett asks, who do we like this week? I know you like the Seahawks this week.
I think most people do. They're the favorite. The worry there is that they're not. I mean, it's supposed to be. It could be the coldest game in the history of football.
I heard that.
So that is not something that makes it a little bit weirder. I think Washington's going to beat Green Bay.
You do.
I do. At home, Green Bay's not impressive. They haven't been playing well.
Good flop here for Ken. Ken's picked up an inside straight draw and a flush draw. An 8 of clubs make him a straight flush. Eric's going to bet his pair of 6s. Handsome George's got nothing for him. But he's not, looks like he's not done yet. Ace-10 again for Handsome George. And he's, no, thought better of it. And this is a spot where I think Ken should be check raising. And he's just going to make the call. Turns to 10 of diamonds. Now Handsome George is kicking himself. Ken's going to check it over. And I think Eric's just going to be content to check back. As he reaches for chips.
We call that the commentator's curse in StarCraft. Clearly, he's going to do this, and he does the opposite. Where it's like, wow.
Well, I don't know. Okay.
I guess man.
325.
Everyone's an idiot sometimes.
Ken's got a call here. Ken folds.
Wow.
I'm really surprised there. It's both players had a lot of money behind them, and only cost 325, 375 the call there.
In his
mean,
defense,
I
he had a
don't-
low flush, I guess.
I
He's
don't-
worried, like, if I hit my flush, am I going to call his all in with it?
Yeah, you gotta hate having those small flushes.
I
But
just-
heads up, there's so much less of a chance that they've got the flush.
Ken, I mean, he really could have put in a check raise there on the turn. What it looks, the check raise on the turn looks so strong. It's going to get a lot of opponents, even good, competent opponents, off of a lot of hands.
Action Scotty hand. I'm saying it. Action Scotty hand. If ever there was a time for Scotty to be Scotty.
Yes. So I think Scotty actually put in a straddle here. So Scotty's got the straddle in. Rich makes it 150 to go with ace-jack offsuit. And Scotty makes the call. The graphic shows that he folded, but he called. There we go. And Peter, so good flop here for Rich.
Not bad for Scotty. Pick up a pair.
Now she's the optimist.
Rich bets 150.
Hi, Aaroner. That's my wife in the chat.
Oh.
Which one?
Anna Prosser.
Oh, okay.
In control. So
hot.
So hot right now.
She would
In
be the one to
control.
say that, yeah.
So hot right now.
She's gonna so have you when you get home.
That's right. Probably.
Jimmy Buffett likes the Steelers this week. I like you too, Jimmy Buffett.
A lot of people are saying they're one of the teams that people want to play, but they've kind of cooled off towards the end.
Yeah.
See if they can keep it going. They just barely, they had to come back to win that last game against the Browns, although they murdered them in the end, I guess.
Yeah.
Do you do any sports betting?
You got your wine?
Not like you guys, I'm guessing, but yes.
I don't sport bet. I don't gamble at all.
Really?
Nope, not at all. I don't gamble. I play poker.
Do you? I mean, you already made your comment about football. So.
Like she's like trying to hold it in right now. It's like taking everything, like muscle she has, like keep her away from the baccarat table right now. just like she is itching and dying to go over there and just
Look,
spew.
if I were sports betting, I would be running analytics on all the games. I have a professor of mine that's a big sports bettor, and he's an analytics professor. So
Yeah.
probably
it
making
is.
more money sports betting than being a professor.
A friend of mine, another StarCraft that went to poker, Avad Khan, went switched from poker actually, largely in part to sports betting on basketball. He ran really hot.
Everyone remembers Avad Khan from his run in the main event.
Well, he cooled
And he's
down.
so animated, too.
He
So
had
animated,
a crazy animated 1 year, and the next year he cooled down.
Yeah, and they actually instituted a rule.
He's a
The
StarCraft
Rod
guy.
Khan rule.
He's another StarCraft guy. Yep. There it is. So there's a week in my game. I'm not playing enough StarCraft. I'm playing enough Magic.
When the king comes,
We were talking that whole time, and he was doing really well in poker, but he just started betting on basketball, and he did a lot of what you're talking about, like not just betting like gut shot, like these guys are running high, like actually looking into the numbers really hard.
You have to.
Came away hundreds of thousands of dollars richer.
Yeah. There's like 1% of people running actual predictive analytics on sports betting, and they're making a killing. And then everyone else is like just going on their gut feeling and getting lucky once in a while. So if you can, I mean, it's a 24-hour-a-day job though. These guys, they bet in groups and stuff.
Haven't heard from him in a while, so I hope he's still doing well.
This is definitely a story from like 3 years ago.
And Matt's picked up aces.
There it is. We haven't seen it for a while.
Yeah.
All our talk about how hot it was for a while.
Aces. It's so hot right now.
Those aces. I'm excited for that movie, by the way.
A lot
That's
of
gonna be
people
good.
don't have anything
Nothing.
else.
There's nothing for him to face. Scotty with a raise with 3-7 maybe. No.
Matt makes it 75 to go with his aces. No one's got much for him though.
Oh, Eric, mystery hand.
And
No.
he folds.
Okay.
So on the other side, like I would tell people, whenever they raise and take it down pre-flop with aces, and they show it, and they're like, ah, darn it, well, think of all the money you didn't lose, Could have been a lot worse.
I mean, like
Sean Drake could have had the 9 deuce of diamonds. I mean, that could have happened.
I'll take him in his 9 deuce of diamonds any day against my aces. 70% of the time
Oh,
I'm gonna
well,
win.
we all would, but
I know that feel though. It's when you have aces and everyone folds to you, and you're like, oh, I didn't even have an
It really frustrates me when I'm playing at even it happens all the time in tournaments where guys will overbet and then everyone folds and they're like, oh, I had aces, I didn't want to see the flop. I'm like, why don't you want to see the flop? You're losing so much
It's
value.
literally the best hand. You don't want to like underbet and then have
literally
6
the-
people get in with you.
yeah, you don't want to like take it 6 ways, but
You don't need to like all in, and they're like, oh, geez, like,
Jake,
simmer
really?
down.
Like a Saturday night for you? Jake,
King
you
ten deuce.
You guys switch roles, like this is very confusing. She's all of a sudden optimistic and doing analysis and talking to Alex, and you're like, penis and poopy, and I'm like, all right, Jake. Sorry,
5 ways.
I
love
farted.
it.
Like, okay.
Ken did his opening straight draw and took down the last spot.
He always gets right out of it too.
Yeah.
He's good at ignoring me. He'll start ignoring you soon,
We're
Jake.
getting back on the freeway. I'll stop this car right now. I swear to God.
you should bring a special card.
I'll pull this over. You will talk poker, or you will shut up.
Stop telling people about my Saturday nights.
They have a very avant-garde family structure.
I feel like we've been drinking, but we haven't.
Ken's got his king.
But looking at everything else so far, huh? 5s.
George's got pocket 5s in the small blind.
And he's been loosening up a little bit.
Ken's taking a long time to make this bet here. Raised to 150.
I feel like
John was under the
steaming-
gun. John put in the straddle under the gun.
Oh, Handsome George didn't call.
Handsome
Richard.
George. Handsome Jolt.
No,
George
nothing
George
here.
is fine.
And 150 has been the baseline bet here. That's not alerting anyone to like I have a monster hand. That's just like I have a
Exactly.
hand.
The only thing that made it give away anything was Ken's hesitancy to bet. He kind of like
decide.
hem-hawed, like how much, and then finally stuck in the bet. And you'll find a lot of players when they do that have suddenly woke up with a hand and
Like,
they,
how do I act this out?
and it's just like act normal, act normal, act normal, act normal, and then it's view.
You take out TV and you leave.
I love the chat room. The chat room's the nuts.
I find, in my experience, so I've done a lot of different kind of commentary. A lot of people that are new to internet streaming, they're always like, "Oh, I love the chat," and it's like, good for you guys. If it gets bigger, you're gonna have someone that's like, well, it's a family-friendly stream, so I won't say it, but they'll be like, Drake's a blah 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 blah. And you'll
Oh,
be
they
like,
did that the first stream. They like,
that's not true. You're a mean person. And they'll be like, Veronica's a blah. And you guys are like,
they did that the first stream. They're still doing it, but we have moderators
that's good.
now. So we will destroy you if you say anything bad about me.
Just remember this moment where I was the herald. I was like, prepare yourselves for the future.
I'm sure on your chat it's like like a million miles a minute.
My stream's not super big. It has been in the past, and it's been like that. But I have really good moderators that have they've ran it like a military camp, so they're all super positive for the most part. Darren always finds a way.
Yeah, I've been going on Twitch lately and just like trolling through all the
You're like half of
gaming.
me. Oh yeah.
And I'm like, hi. And they're always like, hey dude, Angry Polak. I'm like, hey. So
If you change your name to like Angry Polak Girl Surfer 961, you'll get different comments.
okay. Yeah, very cool. Thanks, Bob.
What's up?
We got this new
Banner.
normally we get a piece of paper, but now we get a banner.
Wow.
Bob's
They're
just
doing a great
like
job graphic-wise, by the way. Like I said, following this poker is really nice. I feel like I'm tuning into ESPN, but it's not. It's awesome. It's Twitch, so I can get up and do whatever I want. It's great.
and the best thing about this, not to take away from ESPN, but people can interact with us and talk
Yeah.
about the game and interact with each other. At home, you're just watching
Well, that's
by
why
yourself,
streaming is so big.
texting your
Yeah.
buddy.
It is an actual, and we see these guys talking to each other. There's a lot of poker people
And
that come
Jake
in
has
here.
no one to text, so this
Yeah.
is so nice for him that he actually thinks he has friends now.
Okay, so you guys
That
rolls
little-
did
yeah.
just, okay. Oh, I got
And
it.
we're back.
So a 5 will give John a nice little straight
3, 4 hearts. King Jack.
backdoor.
Gorgeous George makes a continuation.
Gorgeous
Sorry.
George.
Gorgeous. Did I say Gorgeous George?
Yeah, you did.
Handsome George. That was a
Gorgeous
character.
George.
That was a character in a movie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Is that?
Snatch.
Well, not what I was thinking. Oh.
I love when people are new to Twitch and
But you're
actually
right.
care about
That
Twitch
is it.
chat.
What's
We're
that?
talking about what you said. I love when people are new to Twitch and actually like the Twitch chat.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's actually a weird thing for me to experience.
You don't care about the Twitch chat?
No, I like it too, but I've been streaming since its inception, which is called Justin TV 6 years ago, and it's just you'll see it's like small community. You're like, oh, it's so lovely. Then it gets big. You're like stop saying mean things, and it comes back down again.
Oh, okay.
There's a lifespan to it. It's really nice.
Our lifespan started at mean things.
I'm in the nice part. 2010 was a dark.
Time.
I didn't know people could say so many mean things.
There are some like crazy trolls out there, right? Like they just nuts.
There
like
are.
parents didn't love them, obviously.
I like Gorgeous George better. I think that sounds.
Who is this? Who's this new guy where Sean Drake was sitting? And how much does he have?
So Sean's gone. Oh, that's right. Should get a shout out soon on the stream.
Thanks for playing with us tonight, Sean. Always a pleasure watching you crush people's souls with junky cards. John's on the button with Ace Queen. He's gonna put in a raise. Looks like 130, 125-ish, 120.
Oh, I think that's Scotty. He moved. Yeah, it's
Eric's
Scotty.
gonna make the call. We've had a hard time tonight seeing Eric's cards. Queen 9-7.
Well, the Jack 9 got a piece of it.
Ace Queen's
Queen
good
is,
right now.
yeah, Queen with top kicker, obviously.
Top
And
for
John's
John.
gonna
He's
put in
gonna
a bet.
continuation bet.
Hard not to when everyone checks to you and you've got top hair.
You're like, okay, let's see how far this rabbit hole
everyone
goes.
folds. Ken would not stick around with the spare nines.
Occasionally we get a little bit of cool air coming in here.
Yeah, it felt nice, didn't it? What? Good.
Yeah, and then it goes away and it's hot again like a freaking sauna.
Oh, yeah.
Justin TV was founded in 04 or 05.
We're going to still play it as
Yes?
1025.
I don't know.
We're gonna
I think
do
so.
200 your phone, okay?
Some people streamed Brood War back then. I did not stream Brood War. I started streaming in 2009. Which is weird to say, 7 years ago now.
So, I mean, I don't want to say that gaming isn't a real job, but have you ever worked a regular like 9 to 5 or
In college.
In college?
Yeah.
In college?
Nothing, no salaried position or anything like that. I worked at a Jamba Juice, a pizza joint, and a GameStop.
In a GameStop, and you just like, you know what? I'm crushing these games, and
Yeah, I did not pursue making a living in gaming. It was one of those things where I won the national championship in 2007, and then the organization signed me in 2009, and they signed me at first for $250 a month. So obviously you don't live off the bat.
no, you don't.
And I was going through college and doing those other jobs, and then StarCraft really took off in 2010, and then I signed for 6 figures and went off from there.
Awesome. It's not so unlike, like I said, a lot of parallels there. You hear about poker players in college, and they're playing games online, and realize that they can make more playing poker than they can for whatever it is they're going for their degree in.
Yep.
So they just drop out and they just turn to poker.
And the parallels are actually really consistent too, because like poker and StarCraft, it's not consistent or reliable. Like you don't set off to become a poker or StarCraft pro and be like, well, that's just what I'm going to do, and I will get paid. I will have a career. In poker, most people are doing other things, and then they're like, actually, it turns out poker is paying for more things, and I'm really good at it. So let's go with that. But but I guess there are people that set off to be poker pros, but that's like such a perilous, scary path.
Yeah.
So difficult.
It's better to find out to have something be doing something else and find out that you're really good at crushing poker and kind of phase into that, or gaming or whatever. And
He's talking about me.
yeah, if you go into it like just wake up one morning, I think I'm gonna play poker for a living, probably for a very
You're
rude
talking a
awakening.
little bit about that though. Like even then, you weren't married, you didn't have a family, so you can kind of make that choice to play a little bit wild.
I was such a degenerate back then, but now I can't. I mean, you can.
No.
You have to like come home and be like, no, I didn't lose 3K.
Is there a rack attack in this hand? Oh my god, weird.
What is a rack attack?
Oh, you don't know what a rack attack
No.
is? Tell them about the rack attack, Jake.
So, at certain times of the day, whatever it is, 9 o'clock, 7 o'clock, I don't forget when, they draw a random table,
When there's a touchdown.
or we'll just have a random hours during the day,
Okay.
right, on every day. And they just add, for most games, they add like $100 a pot, or for 5, 10 and up, or I think 2, 5 and up, they just add $200 to the next pot.
Oh, okay.
It changes
So,
the dynamic of
in
the
this-
game
so
so
in
much.
this-
You're gonna play your
They
range.
go bananas.
Yeah,
when
everyone
it
goes
happens.
nuts. Now there's free money in the pot, and you have much greater implied odds to play junky hands. So you're not like it's not like $35 in pot and you're debating whether to play Jack 9 offsuit under the gun. There's $335 and it only costs $25 to call or raise.
fun.
Players to make moves in the pot. We saw in one of our last streams they put $200 in the pot, and Frank Lindsay raised under the gun 10-6 offsuit, made like $60 to go in a 5-5 game. I
And
believe
then,
5-10.
and then it exploded
And then it
from
exploded,
there.
and then there was a 3-bet and a 4-bet, and someone Frank quickly realized that
Speaking of
it's,
exploding,
yeah.
Is he trying to show us?
Oh.
Thanks for showing us your hand. We appreciate it.
3s, 5s,
Handsome
ace, queen,
George
all over the place.
makes a raise with ace, queen offsuit, flops the best hand.
2 hearts though, nothing. Nobody representing hearts too strong.
Don't be scared of the ace king, George.
John's got an inside straight draw on backdoor diamonds.
4-8 needs to get out.
John's not going to play. It looks like everyone's going to get out of the way. George, good to take down the pot.
They're telling
Yeah,
me
and then
that
they
Wednesday
don't-
night football already ended.
Yeah, and then they do the same
Thanks.
on football days. Like on Sundays, they pick a game in the morning,
Yeah.
and every time there's a touchdown, they draw a table, put $100 in the next
Cool.
spot. And they do it for the morning game, the afternoon game, and the night game.
That's
and they do
awesome.
the same thing for Monday Night Football as well. Great promotions here at Stones. Great promotions.
That's really fun because I actually like playing a wide range. That's why I'm not a very good poker player overall. But that would incentivize and have more fun
Yeah,
with it, I
it
guess.
compensates it. Yeah. That's a Drake gets stacked. No, Drake stacks some opponents and then racked out.
I'd be interested to know how much he made off with.
He came up what, 1,500 a grand? Or I know he came up at least a grand.
Yeah, because he
1,500,
had about
maybe more.
2,400, about 630.
Not a bad day's work.
Yeah. And maybe more.
He'll be here on Sunday for the $1,100 buy-in.
Sean will definitely be here on Sunday.
$100,000 tournament.
Yep.
Holy cow.
$100K
$100,000
guarantee.
guarantee, yeah.
$1,100 buy-in.
Good luck to you both, by the way.
Thank you.
you.
So yeah, so Veronica and I are gonna make a bet on who wins more money through the course through 2016.
More
And
money
each-
or does better? We should average it out
Well, it's
because
gonna
you
be the
could
same.
always
So
do
what, we
better
do,
in a tournament and make less
a
money.
point system then?
Yeah, we should do a point system
Well,
to make it fair.
That's fine. Then whoever does better in 2016 in mutually played tournaments, and
I want you to wear a shirt that has my face on it
For a yearly
for
bet,
like
it's just a shirt.
7 tournaments. Yeah,
A yearly bet, you just want a
I
shirt?
want my
that's
face
more
on
humiliating
it.
to me than
Trust me,
losing a lot of
it'll be
money.
great.
But I don't want you to wear a shirt with my face on it.
What do you
I
want from me?
I want like $1,000.
No, then no. It has to
Or
be
something,
like
I don't know,
It has
like-
to be like something worth more than money, which a lot of things are.
Let's bet our friendship. Let's do it.
I get to block you. You lose. I blocked you like 3 days
How about
ago.
that? You could control over Twitter at any point in time in 2017.
Oh yeah, you give me your password to your Twitter, or we'll
God,
bet. Yeah,
no.
password. No, not worth it.
I have to think of something good because you don't want to.
We'll
You don't
come up
want me
with
to wear.
something. Give us some suggestions out there. What should we bet?
There you
What
go.
should we bet? So we're gonna want to compare, mutually played events. Whoever does better, and I guess we're gonna come up. It's whoever does better, not wins more money. So we're gonna have to some sort of point system. Although I got a feeling whoever wins more money will probably that they did better.
If only it was already kind of built into the system itself.
No,
Usually
So-
you win more money, and then that is
no,
actually
because
you
some
doing better.
tournaments, if you get first place, you'll make less money than if you make 15th in another one. So it depends.
Well, yeah. So yeah, if you
But
finish like,
it's
But then that
mutual-
tournament's worth
it's
more.
finish
mutual events.
15th
I
in
guess then
a
it'll be
big,
fine. Yeah.
it's mutual events. Yeah, like
Yeah.
I'm playing this big event, and you're not playing this big event, or vice
Okay,
versa.
so if it's mutual
mutually
events,
played
then it should
events,
be
then you
money,
get money.
yeah.
Yeah, same.
Same. Let's
So
do
yeah.
money then.
So give us some suggestions. What should we bet? How much should we bet? Or if we're not doing money, something else.
Last longer bet on Veronica. Actually, if we did a last longer bet on me last year, I would have won.
Why don't you guys make bet on who's gonna last longer in this
In
tournament?
mutual tournaments, I would have won
You
last
guys
year.
did bet
You
on-
only, you
yeah.
only outlasted me in one tournament, and you punted it, so you didn't get any money.
I've lasted longer than you in many tournaments.
Once.
And then thank you
Mutual
for bringing that
tournaments.
up.
Mutual tournaments.
No, not true at all.
I was in that tournament. I won.
That was that tournament.
What a hand. I'm just kidding.
But thanks for bringing that up for me. Yeah, that one, I'm obviously totally over that one. Peter's gonna make
You're
it
in a good
150
place
to go.
right now? You're
Yeah.
feeling good?
Yeah.
He's gotten over it. He's had
Really?
counseling.
A lot of action potential here.
Richard, what you gonna do?
Richard calls with his pocket sevens.
Jump, quick fold,
John
Scotty.
folds. Scotty's probably gonna make a call here.
Oh, I thought I
No,
saw.
yeah, Scotty's over in seat 3 now. He makes the call. Good flop for Scotty.
Yeah.
10-8-6, couple of diamonds. Scotty's got the king queen of diamonds. If Ken's still in hand, Ken's got an inside straight draw, a couple overs as well. Technically, Richard's sevens are still in the lead, are still ahead here, but with the action, I got a feeling it's going to be building in front of him. I don't see him playing much further. Scotty bets 230. Ken gets out of the way. Peter doesn't like the ace jack anymore, and Richard's probably not going to call either.
Still in.
He has a gut shot. I mean, and his pair might still be good. He might put him on a flush draw.
2 overs and a flush draw.
Good to go.
That's all it takes.
And he was very much a favorite to win that hand versus if Richard would have peeled the turn card.
Yeah.
Richard's making bank today.
Yeah, I wonder how much he bought in for it. Wish we could get that kind of info.
I mean, he had 5K at around 6:30. He probably bought in for table max. Richard's not going to come here and get bullied, so he wants to definitely be one of the biggest stacks of the
Who's
table.
coming away with several thousand then, probably.
Actions on Ken. So Ken puts in a raise. Makes it 75 to go with his ace king of hearts.
Ugh, such a gorgeous hand. And there's just nothing for him to play with.
Richard's on the button with 4-5 offsuit. He makes a call as well.
He actually raises to 275 with 4-5 offsuit.
Yes, he
Oh,
does.
4, mixing a 3-bet. Wow.
Positional raise. But he's never going to fold, is Ken.
And he's actually only like 40-60. I mean, you're...
He just straight calls, though, and this is what he gets.
3-7-5. Great flop for Richard.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And he knows it, too.
Completely misses Ken.
And Richard's going to power through this. Continue with the...
With that huge
betting.
pre-flop raise, knowing that this is the flop, he's got to feel
And that's
good.
what I'm saying.
Ken check calls 260.
Ken calls, and that's what I'm saying. A lot of people will float the flop with ace king to see if they can pick up something on the turn, and he didn't. And I think he's going to shut down here if Richard makes a bet.
Richard bets. Check, check. Another 3 on the river. Ken is completely missed. He can only win if he bluffs here. Ken bets out 300 on the river.
Ooh, and Richard only
wow,
has
that's
middle pair.
such a small bet.
He's gonna when a guy picks. Oh, he snapped.
Good
Wow,
call
I
by
was gonna
Richard.
say that he's gonna
So-
fold.
Ken was representing a hand maybe like 8s there, something like that, maybe even 10s. He did raise in early position. He got 3-bet, made the call, check call the flop. We're starting looking to check call the turn. And once Richard didn't fire the turn, if you had a hand like 8s there or 10s, you'd probably feel pretty good that maybe you got 3-bet by a hand like ace king, ace queen, something like that. And so that you're going to be good on the river there, so you should be going for value. So the way the hand played out, I mean, Ken didn't tell a terrible story there. He very easily could have had 8s, 10s, jacks even.
On that one, anyway.
And so Richard calling there, I mean, it was a good call.
I think he makes that bet bigger. Rich can't call.
I think so too. But you got to be careful. Like, a bigger bet might look bluffy. I mean, we know he is bluffing.
Well, like 2/3
But
the pot.
if
But
you're
he
gonna
bet 300 into a $1,200 pot. 350.
What was it 900? I think the pot was 900.
I think it was about.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I mean, it looks like a
Value
value bet.
Yeah,
Which I mean, there's nothing wrong with making your bluffs look like value bets.
I agree.
But then
Yeah.
it's
And that's the part of it that always leaves him behind. It's like,
It's one of those situations, what if I did this? Would this turn
I think Rich might have been more likely to call. Might have been more likely to call a bigger bet. Maybe something else like say 450, 500. Gets him off the hand. I don't know. That's just one of the things you got to know your opponent. You got to kind of play with your bet size in there and find out, how does he perceive me? How does he perceive big bets? Does he think big bets are bluffs? Is big bets are value? Is this guy got the best hand? He's going for full
You're starting
value.
a leveling war there.
Yeah, and you gotta know your opponent, and you gotta know what he not only what he thinks, but what he thinks of you. New character now in seat 7. Have not seen him yet on the live stream. Find out his name here in a minute.
we'll just call him USA.
USA. Thought we were gonna all start chanting there. No,
Just you, man.
Canada's not in. All right, whatever.
Stop hating on Canada. We give you guys a lot of oil and good-looking women.
Pamela Anderson.
Are you patting yourself on the back there, V?
I used to be. I used to be a dime.
It's quiet again.
And then the silence.
Maple
ensued.
syrup.
Yeah.
I'm just calling out random things that Canada gives you guys.
Hockey.
You as well. You're an American now.
Almost. Almost.
You married an American.
Yep.
So Rich
Flies
is
a
gonna,
fighter jet. That's about as American as it gets.
Rich puts in a razor to 75 with Queen 4 offsuit. Scotty's on the button, and he's going to put in a 3-bet.
Nothing to play.
Looks like with 2 1/4,
Oh, but
with ace king.
a raise in front of him. That's nice. Do you re-raise?
he re-raise. And at 205.
That's a nice 3-bet.
And
I like
it's going to
it.
work.
Insta fold.
I
Everyone
like
gets
it.
out of the way.
He's got position. It's hard to play little pocket pairs out of position. Unless you're set mining like Jake.
Hey, I'm a set miner too, man. I love that.
I'm always.
I love sneaking in, but I play in bad, dirty games with bad players, so it's like there's 5 of us in there, and I'm like, yeah. Hopefully you all have shinies. No, I almost never get it.
So Tony's our new player.
Tony.
Have you played with Tony before?
No.
I've never played with Tony. I hate saying that because then I've had players who said that, they said we never played together, and they come up to me like, remember that time in that one hand, and I'm just like,
Absolutely. Yeah.
not at all.
You are so great.
Tony's gonna get right to work here. Tony's gonna raise to 75 under the gun.
With mystery cards.
Scotty's gonna make the call with the 5-6 clubs. Flop
Always got
ace
pocket
jack
sixes.
4. Tony's got pocket sixes.
Jack good here.
John's got the best hand, his pair of jacks. He's on front of the ace, he's gonna bet. That's 150. Scotty thinks better of the 5-6 clubs. I don't see Tony calling here as well. Or either, I should say. He does not. And John's gonna take down the pot. But I like Tony coming in right in and getting right to work and not limping in with the sixes, opening up the action. It disguises the strength of his hand.
And if he raises with a pretty big hand, they'll, it'll be, again, disguised and he'll get some action.
So now Tony will have the big blind here for the first time.
How many hours do you normally stream for?
6 or 7.
Okay, so
wow.
this is, you're okay right now, hour 3.
Well, so commentating for a long time without a break is actually really difficult, as I'm sure you guys are very aware of. I'm tired. It's a lot of talk.
Well, you should take a break.
Kings,
and
though,
do-
I'm rejuvenated and but suited Jack 10. Doesn't get two out of hand, and suited Ace 9.
So Rich opens up the action. I believe there was a straddle. Eric might have straddled his hand, and Rich puts in a raise to 200 with King 9 of hearts.
Oh, Rich.
And
you're
John is right behind him and can't see quite what he made a 3-bet to.
So much action
it's like
behind.
almost 3.
Makes it 450 to go.
Okay.
And he had to go pretty high, I feel like, on this because there's so many cards behind he needs to know.
And it's not a big re-raise. And Rich is pricing
Rich is-
himself in.
Feeling like playing today. This is why Rich is so fun for this game.
It's just King 9 is you're so bad against out of position
Except
against
watch 3 hearts.
3-bet.
He wants
Watch
2 or 3
3
hearts.
hearts.
That's all he's hoping for.
And even though it's a small
And
re-raise,
he's so sad right now.
Swing and a miss.
He looks at that and he goes, son of a bee.
and I mean, King 9 in a out of position versus in a 3-bet pot, you're check folding so much. And even if you catch your king, you're not looking to play a big pot, which is going to be hard to do when it was 3-bet free because your continuation bets are going to be bigger. Your bets on 4th Street are going to be bigger. It's just, I think even though it was a really small re-raise, I think Rich would have been much better off, and it's not just because we can see the cards. Rich would have been much better off just folding to that
pre-flop.
3-bet.
Yeah.
Pre-flop. You're gonna save yourself so much trouble, and just because King 9, it just doesn't play well against hands. Most hands that most people are willing to 3-bet with. If you had a hand like 5-6 or even like pocket 7s, that's gonna play a lot better. You're gonna get yourself in a lot of sticky spots where you're in a you might have the best hand, you flop your king, you really don't know though, and either way you're not gonna want to play a huge pot.
Yeah,
out
you
of
definitely,
position.
top pair there, even with King 9, is probably not going to be good.
It's marginal.
Ace
You're
King
not,
is definitely within
if your
his
opponent
range.
keeps putting chips in the middle there, you're not happy about it. And here we go. We're back to playing with the Pinnacle deck.
Can't bluff with that, Scotty.
Scotty's got aces. And Richard
7
limps in.
4s.
And Scotty squeezes 1, 2 aces. And he just calls. Scotty over calls with just aces.
That is a bluff.
Power calling.
He power limps. Tony completes the action in the small blind, and Eric's going to check his option.
Now, if you're going to play aces like this, you got to be able to play post flop,
If you're
and
gonna
you
play
got to be
aces
able
wrong,
to let them go if it doesn't work
Dodges
out.
him.
Jack 5-6. Rich picks up an inside straight draw, but not much. No one else has much of anything. Eric's got a pair of 5s, and Rich is going to bet out his inside straight draw.
With runner flush.
And
And
here
get
goes a little
raised.
raise from Scotty. Scotty makes it 350 to go.
His hand is so disguised right now. How do you put him on aces?
They all fold down though.
And he shows the aces.
Rich is like, I don't want to see it. Whatever.
He's looking to get away from that. There's 4s and 7s going to the flop cheaply.
I really don't think he was planning on catching 5-way action there. He was really hoping some other player can raise.
Yeah.
And then his hand is a little bit more disguised because he overcalled it. Players that limp in early position, first stack they limp, and they come with a big re-raise, it's pretty apparent that they, are trapped in there. But when someone else raises and they just call, it's a lot, your hand's much more disguised. Your range is somewhat capped, as they say, where, what are you going to just call raise with that? Now you're re-raising me if someone were to put in a 3-bet off the button. People are more likely to think that you're doing that with a middle pair, something like that, and they think that you're now making a move, and they talk themselves into going nuts.
I must be
Ace 9-3, 2 spades.
Which each person has a piece of.
They actually all kind of have a little piece of this, but first to bet.
Yeah.
Did you have a good time?
Yeah, this is
Enjoy our
great.
little penalty box.
Very nice to meet you guys. We're having a good time. It's fun.
Absolutely.
I
love
picked up a new
poker.
Twitter follower.
That's right. Me too.
I think I followed you and it didn't even change your 230,000 followers.
Oh,
It was it didn't say 230,001. You're big time.
That's awesome. Well, 10-25, I think went pretty well tonight. The game's still going strong. There's still people on the list. The 5-10's going.
Are we done?
think
Are we
we're
done? I'm
Let's
sad.
end after this one though, because this is awesome.
What was that salad, G?
10 queen suited queens.
You're just picking up momentum here.
Absolutely.
Scotty's got ace 10 suited. That looks like a nice hand.
Yeah.
I would be a poker degenerate if I didn't have responsibilities.
Matt's gonna make it 200 to go with queens.
And he will get action.
No, this is the only table in our poker room that has sensors. So this is our only live stream table. We do not run 17 tables of live stream
Yet.
yet. Challenge
But with your
accepted.
donation,
John makes a call, so does Scotty. Look at 3-way to the flop.
6-9 suited, 2 diamonds.
And Matt does not like
It's a
that
pair.
ace.
You're so Mystery Science Theater. You know
John,
that?
John has got a great hand here. John has got a pair and a flush draw.
Scotty didn't even look. Why is Scotty not looking?
Scotty's not looking at the flop. 7 of hearts peels off on the turn. John's gonna lead his pair and diamond draw.
Ah, the old
Now
69.
Scotty looks up and Scotty sees that he has a pair of aces. Scotty's gonna make a call. 375.
Good night, Wop
And
Rye.
Matt's not gonna overcall. Nope. It'd be one thing if Scotty didn't call there, or if John didn't lead, and then Scotty just bet.
Hits the
diamonds
diamond.
get there. John's diamonds get there. And Scotty backdoors 2 pair, and it goes check, check. Ah, sickening.
Why?
People don't like money all the time, you know?
Okay.
These guys are just, bazillionaires, and they just they're playing for fun. They're playing for fame.
2 pair. Checks.
I know. They an instant check.
And
They
then
like it was like clockwork.
the diamond gets there, and I said it before, that's just like we see that.
Are we fish?
No. It's just like we've always said.
I don't think
that
so.
hand's gonna go. Like I always say, the hand's gonna go check so many times, and it just did. Like
Yeah.
I think when your hand gets there, sometimes you gotta lead. If you ever want to bluff those cards,
Last hand.
This
And-
last hand, guys.
or was an hour ago, I think John's got to be betting that. I mean, his hand gets there. He's got to bet. Scotty could have gone for some thin value there with 2 pair, but I don't.
That was weird.
I definitely think John should have been betting that river once the diamond got there.
It was weird how quick it went. It was as if it was like
That's what she
it
said.
would be dumb to do anything else. Thank you.
Peter makes it 125 to go
was
with his
weird how
pocket
quick it
jacks. Peter's actually still in the game. My God, it's been so long since we said his name. Peter went card dead tonight.
He went card dead.
John makes a call, King 9 offsuit, 8-8 deuce.
You gotta feel great about that with jacks.
Real good spot.
You avoid the overcards.
You still have your out. You hit a jack.
And Sean Drake's not in the game, so eight deuces
So 8
out of
is
the
safe, yeah.
There you go.
out of anyone else's range. And John's gonna
And
fold
John.
him.
That was 7. That was 3.
Definitely missed some value there, John, on that hand.
Well, that was our last hand, sadly. I could have done this for 3 more hours.
Really? Right?
2 of you
Yeah.
in this hot box.
Get another bottle of coffee going and just.
Get the flannel going. Sorry.
Well, we got that going.
Yeah. Well, off. I mean, anyway.
Oh, okay. There
Thank
it
you
is.
so much. Thank you to Bob, our tech guy. Thanks to Matt,
Kenny.
Roger Bailey for putting this on. Thank you so much, Jeff.
Yeah,
Geoff.
thank you.
Geoff.
Happy to be here.
Oh.
I didn't know if you were doing that, but I didn't want to leave you
I was
hanging.
just like,
It was just
Yeah.
Jeff
yeah, I
saying that.
appreciate it. I was like,
I've been
ah.
there. I've done the host thing where I'm like, nice to meet you, and then they walk past me, and I'm like, there's no coming back from this, so I just had to save you.
Thank you.
No, it's great having you.
It was good having you as well.
Yeah,
Appreciate
you're
it.
fantastic. You're great natural at this, so come
you.
join us
You should think
anytime.
about having your own channel sometime.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm going to give it a
Try to
shot.
do this for a
I'm gonna try-
living.
Yeah, I'll check
Awesome.
it out.
So,
Games are still going on down here, guys. Get down here, jump in a game.
we have our 100K guarantee on Sunday. It's an $1,100 buy-in, but we're running Mega Satellite, a big Mega Satellite on Saturday at 11 a.m. for $240.
And 1 in 5 make it, which to me is the biggest sell there.
Yeah.
Like, satelliting into a $100,000 tournament, 1 in 5 at only $240 is pretty
It's a great
sick value.
price point.
And
Great
15
price
seats
point.
are guaranteed.
15
so.
seats guaranteed. Get down here.
Live streaming the final table on Monday.
That's right. Well,
And Jake
you
and I are going to be on the final table, so I don't know who's going to
guest
be tough on
commentators.
score.
Who knows?
Just 2 random people. Whoever you guys are
Yeah,
fine.
just like grab anybody. That'd be fun.
Hear the 2 people that bubbled, and they can just like tell bad
homeless
stories
person
the
who punched on the
entire
end.
time, and how they should have been on the final table, and how bad we all played. I can't wait. It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
All
All
right,
right, have a good night,
Good
everyone.
night, guys. Thank you.